been injured in an accident, one thing leads to another. Your injury leads to treatment. Treatment leads to hospital bills. Bills lead to debt. Debt leads to stress. The advocates can help relieve that stress. Having an advocate attorney on your side leads to faster resolutions, fair outcomes, and a peaceful recovery for you. You deserve an advocate.
This is The Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, The Monty Show, live on Monday, August the 4th, be with you. Is that how that works? May the 4th be with you or something like that? Live in Salt Lake City, that's me. Jake is not. Jake has flown the coop and no longer wishes to be part of the show.
Right.
I have to I have to say right out of the gate, we should explain it. Jake is a kept man. Is that correct, Jake? Like you're...
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, there's some of that, sure. Yes.
Are you it's awkward now. Just explain.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, my girlfriend took a job in Eugene, Oregon. So we moved to, we moved to Eugene this weekend. And now for the first time, and I can't even tell you how long, I mean, maybe ever, we're doing the show in two separate places. So, I mean, it's kind of a more traditional look to what you guys are used to. And we're off.
There you go. We'll see. I'm sure there's going to be some growing pains. The expense of doing it like this has been quite arduous. I will tell you that. But it is. Yes, this is Jake in federal prison. That's correct.
Prism. Yes,
that is correct.
Federal prison.
TJ Beck. Jake. So tell us about the shoes.
What's there to tell, my guy? What you like them? You like the way they look?
Is this new to people that we collect shoes? I mean, maybe that's a thing that we used to do this for all of you new heads on the show in the last 5 years, I guess. So not really that new. Mm-hmm. Maybe for last 4 years, we collect. I have hundreds of Jordans, Jordan's not Air Force Ones, Air Max 90s, just all kinds of shoes. I now have. We've talked about on the show. I have a couple of Kobe's now. So just a shoe thing, and so of course Jake got into it and spent way more money than
I probably wanted to, but it's fine.
This is very true.
But,
so
I mean, you got to have a shoe game, and I felt like I had to come up with an impromptu background, so I felt like what better way to do that on the fly than to use the shoes.
There you go. King of Thailand wants to know if Oak State James, how you guys are getting along living together now.
There is no Oak State James here. There is no roller food. There is no nothing. No.
Wow. I think that's shocking to us.
There's none of that, bro.
What do you mean? There's
no clean cut vibes. There's no
roller food?
No. There's none of that.
The last meal that we had before you ran off to militia country in Oregon was the conversation was based around roller food, and your significant other was defending how good food off the rollers at QT is.
Yeah, and I'm not a QT person. I'm a Maverick person, and I had my one experience. Sorry, that doesn't make me an expert, but that's basically what. Yeah,
that is so disgusting that you guys eat food off of rollers. But
I did it one time.
Okay, what's the old saying, Jake? You build a million houses, nobody calls you a home builder.
Yeah,
you do one Alex Jones drop, and everybody says you're an Alex. Stuff.
Yeah,
it is.
That's life. We get it.
Did Jake get a sugar mama like Pops? Well, I don't have a sugar mama, and if she needs to earn more money. Frankly, that'd be really appreciated. It's fine. Oh, and look, now here's Oak State James injecting himself. even more. Wait, since you're in Oregon, can you go to Eugene and see if the University of Oregon has started the construction?
No, I'm not, dude. I'm not doing personal favors just because I live in a different city. Like, we're not doing. Oh, hey, two holes. Can you make a little video? Guys,
Can you go to the local Lutheran church and film the inside of the rectory? From what I understand, they renovated, all of the apostles on the ceiling of the rectory. Or at least there was some white stuff on the ceiling. They said they were going to clean it up, but
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that, James. Just for the record, FTR, at the end of the day, like, no, I'm not doing any of that, bro.
From the rectory? Is that what FTR means?
From the rectory,
It's fine. The Monty Show is always presented by our friends at The Advocates. TheAdvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. And I'll tell you, we're going to talk about insurance coming up later. I'm telling you, insurance is a scam. And if you've been in an accident, I would really encourage you, please do not trust your insurance company. They don't work for you. Your insurance company is working for their shareholders. Let the advocates fight for you. Hand the claims process to the advocates. Let them fight. They've been there. They've done that. They've won that. And the best part is you never reach into your pocket to pay the advocates because you don't pay unless and until the advocates win your case. So chat with an injury attorney live online. It won't cost you a dime right now and 24/7, 365 at theadvocates.com. Well, the big story in sports today, I think, one of two things. This union thing with college athletes, and really it's college football players at this point. The buzzwords that everybody are using is collective bargaining, unionization. You have this situation where you have a body of folks that want to or do represent, college athletes, athletes.org, meeting with 24 college football general managers from the power conferences, and essentially making the case that collective bargaining should be the new standard for rules and regulations that govern our student athletes. And if you don't know what that means they want to be in a union. That means that athletes.org want to represent all college football players in this case, to collectively bargain on their behalf. And if you've listened to this show for any amount of time, you'll know that we've reported one of the things that had been talked about earlier this year was the Big Ten and the SEC pushing the ACC and the Big 12 to join a new entity that would essentially create a new set of rules and laws to play by in college football. But Jake, that feels like a lot of what this is. And frankly, I think it's probably long overdue with the House settlement and the way we've seen people like Donald Trump and senators calling for players to make no money. So it feels like this is long overdue on behalf of the players.
Yeah, I think the system is just desperate for a solution that can represent the players and then represent the people who are injecting money into the sport and otherwise. And I think that's what the hard part is that, again, the easy comparison is obviously the NFL, where you have the owners and you have the players. The problem is we don't have owners, but we do have players in this situation. And so there has to be some sort of solution that allows somebody or an individual body to represent the players, to have the money talks, and also to talk through rules and regulations, whatever it might be. Obviously you guys follow the NFL, all the different conversations that come up. But I think the problem here, once again, is that there are so many damn football players in college football that it's difficult to say, okay, well, who should be the president of the players union? Who should do these different things? Because you're talking about thousands of kids. And so inevitably we get to this place where it's like, once again, we're going to talk about, all right, well, is this going to get split up by, power schools or power players and non-power conference players? Or like, how do we go about that? That's what I think the most difficult part is, as usual. And I think this concept of, collective bargaining in college football is difficult only because people are just trying to, it's what we know. It's familiar. So we're basically trying to take right now, in my opinion, we're trying to take a square peg and put it through a round hole and hope for the best. I feel like we're pushing collective bargaining forward because we don't have another better solution. That's the problem. We need before collective bargaining should even be broached, in my opinion, we need to figure out what change is going to be made to the system to get representation into a better spot. Just the concept of it. And I think that's what's hard, is it just feels like we're skipping that step altogether and just going right to how can we pay the players? How can we do X, Y, and Z with the players, instead of thinking about how can we represent everybody involved?
Well, I don't think you have a choice on that, though, because when you have somebody like Donald Trump talking about taking away any ability for players to leverage their name, image, and likeness, that makes it very difficult to have conversations. Because if you're a college athlete and you're trying to get in with somebody like that, athletes.org, who, if you look at their website, I mean, this is what they're proposing. You have the NBA PA, the NFL PA, the WPA. Like, you look at what is being proposed here by athletes.org. They want a players association to protect the rights and interests of the players. And when you're swimming in fish with people like President Trump and senators who just don't give a rat's ass whether or not you're able to make money, just as long as their friends in power stay in power and continue to make more money, it feels like there's no conversation around that. And when you have somebody as powerful as the president of the United States writing an executive order saying, hey, we're going to take your ability to make money away, and that's the way it's going to be, and that's the way it should be, what's the conversation?
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, how do you talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, you don't talk about it. I mean, obviously, the politicians clearly want one thing, which I agree with you completely. They don't want the kid to make money. And they want all their, I mean, again, we're painting with a broad brush, but like a lot of their billionaire friends and things like that. I mean, we all know the story, right? I mean, it's familiar. We know it. It's tried and true. We've seen it before. And again, I think, on that graphic you would put up, the biggest difference, I mean, think about the size of the body of people we're talking about here. I mean, again, NBA, NFL, WNBA. I mean, the NBA and the WNBA are two of the smallest leagues by player number that we have in sports. I mean, the NFL is bigger, obviously, but that's just because the roster sizes are bigger. But again, it's not college athletes. These are paid professionals who have the ability to sign contracts and do these things. And it feels like in college football, that's taboo to sign a contract or to have these conversations
and make money for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like it's weird to say, hey, like a kid's playing football, he should make money, or she should make money. Whatever athlete, like that's the hard part.
Yeah, and I think we want to control things. I think we have come to a place where we want to keep our thumbs on people, and that's just not what our country was built on, in my opinion. And I think we're putting these players in a lose-lose situation, because you're going to, in all likelihood, to have to pay on some level to be part of this. Are we calling it a union? To have collective bargaining, I mean, essentially you're saying you're a union. Somebody's going to have to pay those lawyers, because as we've well documented on this show, lawyers don't go unpaid. Mm-hmm. And I think when you start looking at this idea that somehow players are going to have to fight for what's rightfully theirs, it makes me crazy. And we argue about shaming the wealthy people in this country. Well, now we're talking about wealthy people in this country shaming kids trying to become wealthy. Well, and I just don't understand. I just don't understand it.
And in some cases, I mean, it's even further than that, right? I mean, some of these kids are making millions already in college football, and we're sitting here talking about like, hey, well, how can we pull that back? How can we get that money back? How can we remove that power? And
how can we put the horse back in the barn?
Yeah,
to a place where we used to control everything.
Because that's what college athletics has been, right? I mean, college athletics has been, hey, these kids are going to play the sport they love. They're going to get an education, and then all the old white hairs are going to benefit and line their pockets. Yeah, I mean, that's what this has been.
But isn't this why we have, because like if you listen to this news, you read this graphic today, it's general managers of football programs. And I think what's very interesting is it's why you have a guy like Mike Lombardi at North Carolina, who's the general manager of North Carolina football. Mm-hmm. You have really smart, experienced professionals running college football departments like their NFL franchises, which is frankly how I think it should be. Why do we have a problem with that? We have a problem with that because it's the business of the NFL to make money for everybody, because in that ecosystem as a professional sport, that's how everybody thrives. Well, you're bringing bits and pieces of that ecosystem into college football because you need it now. There's a lot of these kids now. You look at Arch Manning. Arch Manning is a business entity unto himself.
Seriously.
And I mean, football is a very different thing. The Arch Manning is his own company, as he should be, right? And you look at these kids now, your 15, 16-year-old kids that have LLCs set up for themselves because of name, image, and likeness, right? There are college football players, and I think this is fascinating. I believe it was Bloomberg had an article about you have over 100 trusts in this country to protect the assets of college football players. These kids are creating trusts to protect their assets. That's how big this has gotten. I think it's brilliant business. And my question is, why do we care? Why do we care enough?
I mean, that is the core question. Why do we care?
I don't understand it. Why do we care enough that we are desperately trying to create a situation where we can take that power away from that kid? And I still, and I know I say this all the time, why do we care about that?
Because I mean, I think, you know, you talk about what our country was founded on. I mean, the essence of capitalism is like, hey, I have more money than you. I know how to do this better than you. I've been doing it longer than you. Like, we love, like, rich people love to do that. Like, hey, I've got all this money. And I'm not saying it's every single person, but we all know the usual suspects. Like, I've got all the money. I know how to do the deals. I'm the best deal maker. This is amazing. Like, that's what this is about. I mean, the money is just the side effect ultimately. I mean, we're talking about,
I agree,
saying to a kid with, and I just want to put this into perspective. Like, if you're a kid in college football making enough money that a rich white old hair guy who's been in college football lining his pockets for decades cares, you're probably making millions. Like, if you're at that level, like, we're having a different conversation than a kid who's making, you know, $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
And that's the part that bothers me, is that nobody cares about maybe a kid who is getting by on his athletic ability, like got his education and is literally like helping his siblings, helping his family through NIL. Like, we're not talking about that kid and taking his money away. The headlines are only talking about the kids that make millions, and we get this sense of like, hey, everyone's super rich, but the reality is a lot of kids who aren't making as much money are also losing their money. That's the part that bothers me.
And I think when you look at who the real victims here are, the real victims are going to be the track athletes, the rowers, the secondary stick and ball sport athlete, the soccer player. Those are the ones that are really going to suffer here, because college football and basketball players, the very best, are going to make their money one way or another. And for me, I think this union thing has to happen. And I don't know what effort will be made to prevent it. I am certain there will be an effort. I am certain there will be an effort over it. But what do you guys think? Get in the comments section. Should we or should we not have unions or a union for college athletes? Toot Pants. This split is really throwing me off. Monty and Jake are in the wrong side. Switch back. How are we on the wrong sides?
Well, because usually I would be on the right and you would be on the left on someone's phone. That's like, I hadn't really considered that, but that's like there you go. See,
is that better for you?
Monty's got the answers. See,
it does that work better for you now?
Do you feel better?
Yeah. Do you feel better? Jake shares time zones with Arizona for part of the year now. Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. You know, TJ, just go look up new Oregon indoor practice facility. Guy, like, listen, I'm obsessed over shoes, golf, cars, hose. Like, I have my obsessions. Your unhealthy obsession with concrete and building materials, I'll never understand it, James. Like, you have some kind of crazy have to, want to thing where you just have to. I gotta see the IPF, bro.
Monty, guys.
Take me deep inside the rectory. I need to see it. You know, Wasikowski, Parsons going to Detroit should be the news.
Well, I mean, I don't know why that would be the news since he's not going to Detroit. But
yeah,
that's
I don't. Did I miss the story where Micah Parsons got traded to Detroit? Dude that abides. Oak State James has to have some kind of very explainable tie to Eugene. Well, he does now. His boy is up in Eugene. Like he once had a pet duck or owned a Bowerman handmade pair of Nike waffle wrists.
Listen, I've always been an Oregon Ducks fan since the day I popped out of the womb and my dad was wearing
guys.
Yeah, I was wearing a Nike condom that broke.
I'm
That's how
not
I got
kidding.
here.
I'm not kidding. Tagged me in a post on Instagram right now. Is tagging me in a post on Instagram right now with a picture, bro.
Why?
James,
Why?
we've talked about this, bro.
Yeah,
We're doing the show.
Dude.
Like, it's here. Like, we're good.
Yeah. Anyway, congrats on the move, Jake. Cool change for sure.
Thank you. Appreciate that, bro.
College Football Players Association coming sooner than later. The Woof says, yeah, I totally agree with that. I think it's a matter of when, not if.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope it protects the kids from the politicians, frankly, because I think they need it. Toot pants. If we can have a split screen with Monty and Jake, can we add a section for Oak State James and
No.
Big Daddy Magic?
Nope. Not happening. Nope.
Please.
No.
No, don't bring it up. King of Thailand, BDM is a no-go. FCC requires clothes.
Right.
Exactly right. San Diego State, Glenn, Jake, sniff. Yeah, Jake's now an Oregon Duck fan. It's kind of disgusting. Chad Perling, tell me I'm wrong. Chad Perling, Nike shoes, Eugene, Oregon, University of Oregon, smells like the perfect symbiotic relationship. Tell Phil I said hi.
I'll make sure I do that. Yeah, me and
Am
Phil
I
have
getting-
a regular
so-
coffee date.
So wait, am I getting Jordans for Christmas then? Because you're at Oregon. Now, I don't want Oregon colors. I am not an Oregon Ducks fan by any stretch of the I'm not a sellout like you are, Jake. So
Right.
Am I getting Jordans for Christmas or what's the story?
I mean, I haven't established the plug yet, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to get some sourcing, try to get some deals,
What you do with plugs in your personal time, that is up to you. Steely says Jake has a lot of freaking shoes. Yeah, Jake's got a shoe problem.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Thailand says Monty, that shirt rocks. Well, thank you. It is a Callaway golf shirt. Bunch of golf dudes on it. Appreciate that. Is Jake wearing non-Nike shoes in Oregon? Rebellion? No.
Can't do that, bro.
Do you have non-Nike shoes? I
I
don't think you do.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I have one pair of Ultra Boost, but that's it.
Toot pants. Can Jake get a backdrop of QT rollers?
Nope. Can't do
Yes.
it, bro.
Your girlfriend would love it. Wasikowski. So athletic directors need to operate as GMs now? No, not at all. Athletic directors work for the university. The general managers work for the football department. Plain and simple. I mean, you look at some of the names that are GMs around this country, and there are big ones. There are big names, and they're all football experienced, and that's how it's got to be. I mean, I think people need to grasp this concept that football is a behemoth. Football is what powers your university. And I go back to the original reason that we started playing college football. Do you guys know why universities started playing college football and then athletics in general? Well, to bring in more kids to enroll. They wanted to boost enrollment. It was never about making money on the actual game. It was about more kids paying tuition, right? So from the days that college football was founded in the hows and the whys, it's always been taking advantage of the football player to profit the university.
100%.
Let's make sure that is very clear. It's never been about make sure this kid gets a great education. That was the sales pitch, when the reality behind the scenes was very clearly the university needs to make more money.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Businessman would look at this and say, "Oh, cool, all right, we got kids that love to play their sport, and and the side effect of that is we're going to make money. Sounds great to me. Sign me up, man."
Big Pontiff, Brandon Butler, hello. Brandon, I was stroking your scarves this weekend. Brandon is a big Real Salt Lake fan. He gave me a bunch of scarves at a match we had a bunch of listeners to a few years ago.
Yeah.
A lot of universities have already created GMs EW. Yes, every major program has a GM. Every one of them. TJ Beck, the genie is out of the bottle. No way can it go back in ever. I would agree with that.
Yeah,
I think that's
find
right.
a middle ground of some kind.
Very true. King of Thailand, Pitt surprisingly was ahead of the curve on the GM position. For once, right? For once. Arizona State to the SEC. Okay.
Man, wow.
Okay.
How did we not talk about that?
Shouty. Glenn, I don't like this layout. I cannot see San Diego in huge letters anymore. Yeah, I cannot be petty. I can be penny sometimes. Today is one of those times. Yeah, sorry about that. But C-Bus right over the head there. Oh, my God. Dude, don't go back to the gym.
It's rough, bro.
Oh, I went to reach up to point to Columbus and just about had a seizure. It is not good. Wasikowski, Rutgers making more than Clemson should be able to recruit and outbuy a lot of ACC teams. But why does Rutgers care about winning football games? Because apparently they don't. And we've said this many, many times, that Rutgers isn't necessarily worried about wins and losses on the field. A little breaking news, Jake. Little breaking news. Jake is going to be very, very upset. I want you guys to get ready. Get your Oak State James, get your cuddle pants on. Because Jake was all fired up to talk about this story right here. Oh, LeBron hates the Lakers. Did you see Monty? Hey, Monty, did you see this picture? Hey, Monty, did you see Labram LeCap? He was stretching out in front of a Clippers picture.
Can I just point out the toe shoes real quick? What, you couldn't have done better than that, Bron? Come on.
My
dude.
wife loves toe shoes. What's wrong with toe shoes?
Come on.
It looks like he's working out in a Clipper facility. I don't know why. Don't necessarily care. But here's the thing. To make that true, Jake, why when I said to you today, what would make LeBron so pissed off about why would he be mad at the Lakers? What did you say?
I said that, them making Luka the face of the franchise, him getting the extension,
Luka?
Yeah,
Luka Doncic.
Luka Zempic, that guy.
Breaking news. ESPN says Luka and LeBron had a long conversation by phone. LeBron has reached out to Luka and they have talked and they are building a relationship.
Shut the fuck up, Don.
And before they got off the phone, they sang Kumbaya together as one. And instead of saying goodbye, they said Namaste, motherfucker.
Come on.
Okay, they probably didn't say Namaste. That feels like I may have injected that. Some stuff.
Right.
But they did have a phone call. According to Espen, Luka got a call from LeBron to congratulate him on his new extension.
Oh. So now he's brown-nosing the new face of the franchise.
Oh, now he's brown-nosing.
Yes.
We all know the real power center in Lakerland is fat-ass Doncic.
Yes. Too many Carney's hot dogs. We know who you are, dude. Yeah. No, I mean, that's why people are saying he did this, though. People are saying that Bron took this picture in front of the Clippers sign because he's upset that Luke is the new face of the franchise. And, he hasn't. And they also speculated that he's not wearing any Laker gear in the photo. And there was also a video.
Which you buy into.
Yeah.
You believe that.
But it gets deeper, dude. There was also a video swirling of
the only
him
thing
working
getting
out.
deeper on this story is the bullshit surrounding LeBron being upset about Luka getting paid. That's the only thing getting deeper, like quicksand.
Yeah. Well,
Stupid
why would LeBron work out in regular Nike attire as opposed to Laker gear? If he was just all over the Lakers.
It's the off season and he has a pile of gear. Mm-hmm. And I don't personally think he gives a rat's
he just got a little tired of the purple or what?
Honest to God, I just don't think he cares.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he cares one iota about Luka Doncic getting paid and now Luka's the savior and I'm a nothing. You're wrong. I don't buy this for a second, do I believe that LeBron James is at all worried of or gives a rat's ass about Luka Doncic and his whatever this is. I just don't think he cares, frankly.
We'll see. I mean, obviously LeBron's going to play where he wants to play. Who knows how many years he's got left? Obviously, Luka allegedly came out and said that, that he wants Bron to finish his career as a Laker. And so, like, they've clearly been managing the media on this. There's no doubt about it.
LeBron should have asked Jake for a pair in his closet. You know.
Right? I mean, what? Couldn't get a nice pair of Jordans to work out in? Come on.
And Jake is in the closet. Aaron Wilson, when is the next video competition? A member for 28 months. Let's go, A-Dub. Good to see you. Not soon enough. How about that? Illumin Dursky, a member for 23 months. Marv Levy, 100 years old. Yes. What am I?
Epic.
Dude, we should all be so lucky. Wait until you hear this insurance story later in the show.
So ridiculous.
I am telling you, your insurance company's not rooting for you to live to be 100. It's one of the most ridiculous things I have been through. It's just, Mr. Preston, hey, two holes, it's going to be a long drive for car service.
You're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong.
How did the Golf R do?
It did great. Killed a lot of bugs, but overall did great. Yeah. Happy to report nothing.
Okay, wait. Real quick, one piece of business we need to close up. Can you now admit that the house you just moved out of was a monstrosity?
Yeah, it was amazing, though. It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible,
So Jake and I had a major disagreement about the size of the house that he was living in.
Yeah, the house.
Jake had like a 77,000 square foot townhouse.
Right.
I mean, it had to be,
Right.
What was it? It was probably 2,500, 3,000.
Yeah, I think it was 2,600 square feet. Yeah.
22 people
Yeah.
and a dog. 4 stories, essentially.
3 stories.
4, if you count the split level. And how many? You guys didn't use half that house.
I mean, we used a good bit of it. The only thing we didn't really use was the guest room because it's a guest room. But we had we had a basement set up. We had obviously the master, had an office, had a shoe room.
Well, yeah, we had the master, bro.
I mean, but
Whatever.
no, I mean, there's no question. Downsizing is a difficult process, man. You gotta get rid of a lot of stuff. You gotta make some difficult decisions. Like, it's definitely part of it. No question about it.
All right. Daddy was right again. No, I'm kidding. I'm breaking balls. King of Thailand, is there an over-under on Boone finishing the season as Yankee manager? He's not going anywhere. He is not the problem,
dude.
He is not the problem whatsoever. Don't talk to me about baseball right now.
Yeah.
Justin Turner saved our ass yesterday, and I'm supposed to be worried about, Brett, don't call me Aaron, Bob Boone. Jerk. X view count up to 35,000. Oh, is it really? I had not paid attention today.
Dude, X is cooking, bro.
39,189 viewers on X. We appreciate that. Hey, if you're on X watching the show, make sure you give us a like, hit retweet, please. If you're watching on the X platform, that really helps the channel grow. Make sure you go up and click on the YouTube link up in our X bio. Come on over, subscribe to the show, and give us a like. Appreciate everybody watching on X. 2 pants. Did LeBron pick out those shoes from Jake's closet? Well, again, what's wrong? Why are we now hating on toe shoes?
Because they were proven, like, I can't remember what, I'd have to go and look, but they were debunked as medically helpful or whatever. Like, at one point people were like, oh, toe shoes are amazing, they're curing cancer. And then everyone was like, oh, actually, that's not the case.
I don't even disagree with that. Listen, I'm not a toe shoe guy. I had my pair. My wife, as we have talked about on the show, will not wear regular socks. She wears those dastardly toe socks and swears by them. I just don't happen to care that, like, the fact you noticed LeBron is wearing toe socks says something to me about you. And it's probably not a good thing.
Listen,
now
Bron
that you moved to Oregon, I live in Oregon. I'm joining a militia. Go Ducks, quack, quack. Like, I
quack
get it.
up, Monty, quack up.
You're a different guy now.
Right.
You're a different
right,
guy now, right?
Right.
Okay.
This is fucking America.
It is what it is, right? Toe shoes are the douchiest attire in front of the bucket.
Come on, dude. This is a Nike, like one of the best, most iconic Nike athletes ever, and dude's got on toe shoes.
But in front of bucket hats. Jake, what do you wear when we play golf?
When it's bright sunshine, I wear a bucket hat, bro.
He wears a bucket hat.
Don't want to get skin cancer, dude. Got to protect the neck.
Oh my God, that is so good. Yeah, it's not. It seriously, it's not even Toes Day, Bron. It's not even Toes Day.
I don't know. I just noticed that because I felt like, why isn't he wearing his regular shoe? Why isn't he wearing a Kobe, a Jordan? Like, bro, like any number of shoes you could have worn.
Who cares? Get a life, Jake.
I wouldn't care if it wasn't.
I got a life. That's why I moved to frickin' Oregon. I joined the militia.
You know, I mean, maybe it's all these damn trees, but I just don't think it's too much to ask to put on a pair of Jordans, bro.
Yeah, this asshole.
Come on.
He drives to Oregon and he sends me a picture. He's like, dude, look, there are a lot of trees here.
Yeah, look at all this wood, bro. Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good. So good. Oh my God. Why is today a shocking day for the Big 12? No, we'll tell you in 25 minutes. We'll talk Big 12 football coming up. Alumindursky, insurance is a scam. You're paying lawyers to find out ways not to pay you, dude.
Precisely.
We will, the non-sports portion of the program today, we will talk about insurance companies. Mike Smith, Coach Prime loves toe shoes. Too soon? Wow.
Bro.
Wow.
Dude.
Wow. Spangler, the Black Swan chick, should have invested in some toe shoes, apparently. You guys are, dude, is it just pissed off guy Monday? Is that what this is today?
Bro, we're talking about toe shoes and you drop a Prime bomb. Come on.
God damn.
Come on, bro.
That is wild. Toot Pants, this is an Oregon Ducks showroom now. Yes, it is, Jake. Again, Jake moved to Eugene. He joined a backwoods militia, and he is now an Oregon Ducks fan. And as it turns out, we now know that Jake was Duck season the entire time on this show.
You guys got me. I'm guilty. Sorry.
For the old heads, you'll know what that means.
Yeah.
God, you remember Duck season? Oh, look at this. John Blackwelder. Charlotte 49ers _John. Formerly John Blackwelder. Is Jake using the new Air condoms? Jake? Okay. Jake's mind is Oregon.
Right. Right.
Oregon.
See, there's like Oregon, but it's Oregon. It all works together.
And donuts, Eugene equals Birkenstock. I do love my Birkies.
See, and I hate them. Like actual Birks hurt my feet, man. Can't do it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wasikowski, Bigfoot is up there. Yeah.
Just like Micah's going to go to the Lions.
Yeah.
Nice try, bro.
Jake, do you believe in like Yetis and Bigfoot and tusks up and stuff?
No, I'm not. I don't believe in Yetis and Bigfoots and things like that. You want to talk to me about stuff moving on its own in a house and paranormal stuff? We could talk about that, but no, I'm not buying into Bigfoot. 19
days until college football. We're all just hanging in there, dude.
Good.
Ohio State and Texas. I want it. I need it. Chad Perling. Monty wears the lightest blue shirt I've ever seen him wear, but he has a black t-shirt on. Always a black t-shirt. We got to be true to our roots here, man.
Yeah.
Always a black t-shirt. Dude, you guys would laugh if you saw my closet. I have an entire row of black t-shirts. I probably have hanging. I'm a psycho. I have like 30 black t-shirts hanging, and then just a row of color separated polo shirts. It is what it is. But I am trying to diversify. You hyenas have been picking on me for how long? Mike Smith, that Prime joke made me laugh so hard I almost lost a bladder. See what he did there? Bladder, Dion.
Stop, bro.
Gosh. Yeah. Prime did say he got 8 toes. Yes, he did say that.
Well, I literally depends, Monty.
You guys are crazy. What's a condom? I'm all about cloud shoes. Oh, the cloud. Yeah. I'm a Hoka guy. I'm a Bondi. I'm a Hoka Bondi. I'm telling well, no, because that makes me sound like I'm I'm not Team Bondi. No. Okay, we should probably, Monty, was Problem one of those dudes that wore 2 polos at once in high school? No, I wasn't one of those guys. Do you guys remember that? I actually remember dudes that were wearing 2 collars and
2 polos and one at once, guy.
Dude, 100%. 100% those douchebags were real. No doubt. Woof in the rectory. The good news for Prime is that these toe shoes are usually waterproof. See, so if he pees on himself.
Bro, you guys are savages, bro.
That's an incontinence joke.
You are savage.
He said he was wearing adult diapers, Woof. Okay?
I mean, have some respect.
I didn't laugh harder than Jake equaling duck season. There you go. There you go. Jake has been duck season the whole time.
That's not true.
Are you DTD? Down to duck. Prime has 8 toes. I only have 6. Okay, Phil Venzer weighing in on the.
Okay.
I don't know how to beat that, Phil. I've got all 10, and if you count, 3 thumbs, but never mind. It's a whole thing. I used to pop my collar on occasion. Okay. No one is 2 collar turned up cool. I would agree with that. But I went to school,
here, bro. Like
you're the one who's got you guys. Okay, wait, let me do the Jake. Hang on. Hold on.
Just button it up. It's perfect.
The problem is this collar is just too big.
There
you go. And the new buttons on the shirts are super thin. There you go. Is that better?
Oh, that's crispy, dude. That's nice.
What you're looking for?
Yeah, that's nice, dude.
Okay, there you have it. Buttoned up. Is that better? You guys happy with that now? Should I get another one? Is it hard to be separated as a dad? I found it to be. Not really. Jake smells funny. So,
I mean, I wouldn't say it's hard. I think what's just it's just different. Like we've never really. I think we've only, of the thousands of shows we've done over the last decade or whatever it's been, like 12 years or whatever we've been doing this program for, like I literally think we've only ever done like 3 episodes that I can think of in a different part. And one of those was Monty in 2 polos at the same time with popped collars. So this could be a new record here that we're watching, depending on if he can pull his collar back down from how sore he is.
Oh my God.
It's so bad.
Oh,
it's so bad.
No, I mean, you know what the issue is real quick before we get back to sports, because I think this is an interesting question. We had a luxury that people didn't appreciate. And I think that's difficult. Like there's a lot of people who are jealous of the time that we've been able to do this show together and spend together. And I think what people on the outside don't understand is how much work this show is on a daily basis. But we never overlook the fact that we get to sit next to each other for 3.5, 4 hours a day and do this show. Like, I mean, it's something that we always talked about how lucky we are, like, because we practice gratitude on a daily basis. And I know this may seem too much or whatever, but when you talk about, hey, this right here, this comment, it's not hard to be separated. It's just different now, right? Like Jake lives 12 hours from where I am. So we're not going to be playing golf together as much. Like those are the things that when your best friend essentially moves away, your golf partner moves away, there's a gap there. But don't for a second think that we didn't always have gratitude for how lucky we were. Now, that doesn't mean it was always fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's never like nothing's ever always fun or always easy. Like, obviously, there's challenges, and like everybody goes through things. But I think that what I would agree that what people don't understand is like, we were, if you look at, like, if we're just talking the show, like the ability to do it in the same spot for as long as we did it was an elite advantage.
Years.
I mean, a decade of in the same place doing a show.
Well, there was that stretch where you lived with the psycho girl who wanted to light your Jordans on fire.
That was what I was alluding to that 3-episode run like 5 years ago. That was kind of, it's kind of sketch. We didn't quite have all this new technology and everything like that we have now to make all this work together. But it's not, I wouldn't say it's hard. It's just different. It's just a change that you have to, kind of adjust to. But I think the beautiful thing is, again, all jokes aside, like 5 years ago, we didn't have the technology that we have today to be able to do a show this way, without getting in, into the weeds and everything. Like we wouldn't have been able to do what we're doing today 5 years ago. It just wouldn't have been possible, but now you can. And so I think it's just a different experience, man. But I think there's no doubt that being able to do it in the same place for as long as we did was absolutely amazing.
Yeah. We never took it for granted. That's yeah. And I think that's for sure. The haters and I love the haters. The haters make the show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I'm not going to complain that we have 41,000 viewers on the show today. I'm never going to complain about that. Make sure you hit the like button. Chewy Gonzalez, Jake forgot to play the sad piano music while Monty was talking about the father-son relationship. And it truly is not sad, right? Like it's actually exciting for Jake and his girlfriend, and it's a good job. And, it's like Jake hasn't lived in my house. Because don't forget, we do the show in my basement and Jake lives in my crawl space.
Right. Apparently that's all I'm good for, so,
But Jake we haven't lived in the same house for 7 years now, since like way back in Mesa or Phoenix. And we just it's just different. That's the thing. But it's one of those things where it's exciting. You're moving on to the next phase of your life, and that should be celebrated. That should be exciting. And I very much think it is. So, and thankfully we have the technology to make it seamless.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, obviously again, not that I guess we had 100,000 the other Thursday, but it doesn't seem to matter. She did, though. Did Gloria approve the change in format? And she,
we really had to negotiate. I mean, we almost went to mediation with her over the weekend. It was a really difficult process, but we came through the other side, and there were some costs involved to make the show go round, but we figured it out.
Yeah. MD colon blow. MD colon blow. Collodin.
I prefer colon blow.
I'm a terrible person. I freely admit that. Is it weird that I never clocked you, our father and son? You guys keep it very professional. Well, it's not something we're like out here running around talking about. And I appreciate that.
I think, I think to the point though, is like, that's part of what makes the show great is like, I think that, our show is unique. I'm not going to sit here and say it's better or worse or whatever. That's for you guys to decide. But I think the uniqueness of the show is the chemistry and just the conversations that we wind up getting into. I mean, it's literally everything from like, colon blowing to how underrated is the Big 12 to what, like, I mean, it's just all over the place.
Are we really going to do this the top button thing now? Like all of you are commenting on it. Shades of Full Metal Jacket guy. No, it was not Shades of Full Metal Jacket guy. Whoa, these two are father and son. Spangler, welcome to the show, man. You've been here how long and you just figured that out? I suppose Monty could move to Oregon too so that they're back together. Nah, bro, if I'm moving somewhere, I'm probably moving to LA. Like if I was going to move somewhere. Yeah. We were looking at our mortgage yesterday, you guys. I don't even mind telling you, we owe less than $300,000 and our APR is 3%.
What is it like, dude?
What am I supposed to do with that?
See, and
what am I supposed to do with that?
It's simultaneously the best thing ever and the worst thing ever.
Yeah, different part of the show. Gloria the hero, exactly right. That's funny. I thought I saw Monty and Teresa Gould on the Kiss Cam the other day. You know. Gloria. Okay. You need to have Jake on a green screen, then have him in his normal spot. Exactly.
Right.
We'll just line that up. Two Pants, it should be called Two Shakes and Two Takes for Jake's spinoff show. There you go.
Right.
There you go. David Persons. If the big shock of the Big 12 is that they got screwed in the rankings, that's not exactly shocking. That's expected from the arrogant and misinformed media. Well, I don't know about that. Mike Smith, Monty equals Team Lean, Jake equals Team Eugene. Yeah. No, I'm not. No, Mike Smith, I'm not playing your game. I am truly not playing your game. God, I'm just so dying over here. I was leaning on my elbow. So I'm back in the gym 4 days a week. I'm making like an effort now. And I was benching on Saturday and everything was good. And I'm putting up, 50-pound dumbbells and we're doing cables. And yesterday I went to Topgolf and honest to God, the first 50 swings were torture. It was horrendous, brutal.
Yeah.
It was awful. Oak State James, button it up and then say, I'm Monty and I'm a wilderness explorer. Why don't you go ahead and do that for the whole show? That's sounds like a very you thing. Spangler.
Yeah, I'm James and I'm an expert rectory guy.
Yeah, in the rectory. That's great. I never knew. Well done, fellas. Wow. Shouty says, don't move. Just for you want me to? Okay, probably too much. To be honest, I didn't realize you two were father and son for the first year. I just thought he was the plucky young buck helping with tech. So he could put producer on his resume.
Y'all are haters, bro.
Two pants. Oak State James is now the shirt style guy. Yeah, apparently, just cut the backdrop in half so Jake can place his half behind him. There you go. You know. Knock it down from 21 to 14. Doctor's orders. Nah, bro. Monty Show equals a Duck fan and a Notre Dame fan. Let's go.
Apparently.
But the problem is you hate football, so you don't even have a team.
I mean, I don't hate football. That's not true. I don't hate football. I just don't have, I'm not like, oh man, I'm dying over this team or that team. I like good, high caliber college football. That's what I enjoy.
Yeah. Jeremiah Champion. Hey everyone. Jake, did you get moved okay?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say nope, didn't get moved.
Didn't make it. The shoes didn't make the move. The shoes fell off the back of the truck.
The car didn't make it. I walked the whole way on the Oregon Trail. It was tough.
Okay, what's Jake's team?
I don't really have a team, dude. I'm team good football.
Whichever team is winning.
I'm
James. I just follow you because you follow a team that's winning. So
I got here. I'm team rectory. How about that?
Okay.
That's my team.
No. Ducks and Notre Dame equal Gold Dome Ducks. Yeah, there you go. That'd be a hell of a uniform. Duck Beamer Monty Whip. Okay. I got a Beamer.
You do have a yellow car.
I do have it. Dude, my wife was like, we're taking my car. I'm like, no, we're not. This morning we leave for the gym at 4:50, right? And my wife is trying to convince me that because I drive a BMW X4M competition. My wife is trying to convince me the exhaust is too loud. Somebody do a wellness check on Eric Wasikowski. Ennis Rakeshaw Jr., shoulder injury. And he is going to miss significant time. The second year corner for Detroit. That's a big loss for them. That is a big loss for them. So I think Detroit's going to have a tough season, but we'll talk about that coming up. I will admit prayers for Eric. Okay. Look at all these comments coming in. Where's James's comment? I will admit that Monty's X4M pic on Instagram looks off. Are you
okay? So wait, let's not get distracted. You and Mrs. Monty were out here debating the merits of if your car is too loud.
4:50 in the morning. My wife drives almost silent X2M. I have an X4M competition that growls a little bit. And she's like, you're not lighting that thing up. We're not doing it. It's too early. Nope, not doing it.
Yeah, I'll never forget the time that, I pull up in the Subi and the neighbor gets all pissy because it's, quote, too loud.
But your car was also obnoxiously loud.
Bro, your car is just as loud as that car was. Yes.
No.
Yes, it is, dude.
No, it is not. No, it is not. Wait, can Jake still play drops on the show?
Yes.
Can you guys hear the drops?
Length and girth.
Yeah, he's been playing. Maybe turn him up, Jake. I don't know. He's been playing drops all show.
Yeah, I mean,
Can you guys hear the drops?
Length and girth.
Now you make me wonder. GTI Brandon, the Euro car scene in the PNW is legit. Good people and great cars up there. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Whoa, Jaron Eccles, national parks and HOAs hate seeing Jake coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Just got to piss some people off,
Yes, that's exactly right. Jake going through Zion National Park, just firing up the mice inside the. Do you guys remember that? Jake actually had his girlfriend stand outside of the
time.
car.
This is a different girlfriend at the time.
Yes, the sex machine outside of the car and video him speeding loudly through a national park here in Utah. And Jake's like, oh, bro, the exhaust I put into the air ruined. It killed so many birds because, they're all government drones. I was doing us all a service.
They're all government drones.
And he never said
Infowars.com.
Never said that. Subi, yes, Jake had a WRX STI and one of the nicest ones in Utah. So wait, Jake moved? No, yes. Jake is now an Oregon Duck fan. For those of you just tuning in.
So I need confirmation. Are you guys able to hear the drops? You should be hearing them loud and clear.
He says length and girth. Yep, now I can hear it. Yep.
Okay.
Give me an M2 with a 6-speed manual. Okay, no. I'm not doing this from a fucking guy who drives a Honda Civic. I'm not taking. Yeah, I'm not taking. Wow, hey man, listen. Let's talk about which gearbox do you want in the M2,
Brother.
And then, brother. Then we got to talk about catless, or do we just leave the cats in the damn thing? Brother. No, I'm not doing it with you. You drive a Honda Civic.
Fuck you. You.
Bro, dude, you are not out here.
Let me tell you about these manual transmissions.
Preaching at my guy.
Dude. Gumby. Wait, Smiles and Glory Holes are no longer in the same studio, bruh. Also,
Smiles and Glory Holes.
Exactly right. Jay Brannon, here's some better than others, but the drops can be heard. Oh, Jake, you need to push that pot up, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Can you make it louder?
I'll work on it.
I mean, you got a $7 million spaceship sitting on your desk. Jake's team is Our Lady of the Two Shakes. Exactly right. If I go Euro car, I want an Aston Martin Vantage. Oh, V12. See,
Buddy
now
gets
you're
paid a lot of money.
Yeah, you better. Now you're cooking with gas. Illumindursky, to be fair, all the national parks in Utah are just rocks. This is not wrong.
Yeah.
Big rocks. But
Pretty rocks.
San Diego State Glen, the girlfriend who got dropped by Jake via text, that girlfriend?
No, this is a different girlfriend. This is a different girlfriend. Yeah,
this is the one. No, I'm going to give Jake a pass on this one because, the mistakes we make in life echo in eternity. That girl is going to haunt you, Jay. Okay. Jay, here's some better than others, but you can hear the drops. Okay. Mikkel, need golf fight drops, gentlemen. Golf fight. What do you mean?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. Say Honda Civic guy. Says the Honda Civic guy. Exactly.
Yeah, seriously.
Drops could be a tad louder, Jake.
Yeah. We'll work on that.
Turn it up.
Yeah, it's turned up, Monty.
All the way. It's turned up all the way.
Yes, it is.
Civic's our boss. No, they're not. King of Thailand. James put the special muffler on the Civic. No, Oak State James is a guy who will put one of those little things you clip on your tailpipe so that your car sounds like a boss. And I'm just like, nah, bro. I'm not doing that. James, stay in your lane. Exactly right. Let us folks riding around in the German, the whatever it is, 500 horsepowers. Let us handle the car picking. Gabriel, I legitimately think this format will make the show more out of control. There's a good chance. There's a good chance, although it can't get more out of control. You won't understand just how good Civics handle until you drive one.
Bro. Come on. Dude.
Now, I should have gotten a Civic Si. Oh, well, you didn't say it was an Si. No. But I'm paying alimony to the Walmart manager? You're paying alimony to the Walmart manager. Wait. She cheated on you. And you're paying her. Did you not have an attorney? You are. Okay.
Stupid ass question.
How are you paying her alimony? James was married to an unattractive Walmart manager who cheated on him.
The untrained eye.
Who cheated on him. And James found out when he went to Walmart. He's told this story on the show very reluctantly, I might add. He told the story on the show that he went to Walmart and found out he was being cheated on.
Bro, I'd be reluctant too.
And then I'd understand if she worked at Target, you would pay her alimony. She works at Walmart. She's probably making more than you.
Yes, you did.
You know, I hate to admit
we did turn the drops up a little bit. Let me know if you can hear those better.
Yeah, I think I can. Jaron Eccles, hey, listen, I drive a Geo Metro. Let me tell you, hey man, I had a Geo Storm back in the day. And let me tell you what the lawnmower engine is unlike anything on the market.
Listen, in all seriousness, you're never going to see me in a Honda Civic. I understand that some people have their preferences, and yes, if you live in a warm climate, yes,
or your balls are in a jar on a shelf.
Rear-wheel drive M2 is very fun to drive, but there are much faster cars out there, much more capable. No doubt.
James, you do you. I did not realize you were paying alimony to the Walmart manager. I'm feeling that. Will we be seeing you guys golfing at Bandon? It's time. You can take a picture of the clubhouse and send it to James while you're in his while he is in the rectory. I almost said while we are in his rectory.
Hugh Janus.
That was like a Freudian slip out of Jake's brain. Civic is a great car for a college student. Wait, Bandon Dunes. Bandon Dunes is a workout. You got to walk. So for those of you guys who don't know, it's a palace of golf. Bandon Dunes is an hour from where Jake is, I think.
Yeah.
And you have to have a caddy and you have to walk. I'm here for it. I'm playing some really good golf. You know, I hit a ball with the PXG mini driver over the weekend. Have you guys been to Topgolf lately? It was weird being on the first level at Topgolf. I've never been on the first level at Topgolf. So the fence looks 100 feet high. Dude, I hit a PXG mini driver over the fence. Excuse me. We're going to need you to club down. Can you club down, fat ass? That's a conversation we had. You know.
No.
But I would no, absolutely not.
Idiot.
Yeah,
I hit the ball far, don't you know?
Duh. My 150 in game right now is so you know those big circles? And see, this is where I miss Jake. Because instead of me melting down at Topgolf, I was playing, we were target shooting. And so there was one of those circles is 110 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a 54-degree wedge and 4 straight times, because you have to hit the circle 4 times and then you move to another one, right? 4 straight times, 50-degree wedge, right in the bullseye. Like it was an epic run. I think
I've hit it every time.
Then I moved to a 145-yard pitching wedge. Just dialed, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Then you got to pull out the 4-iron. Things don't generally go the way you were hoping for. But, you know, the famous golf fight, 2 Canadians, 1 guy, NHL enforcer. Okay. Oh, yes. I just didn't understand why we were celebrating the hockey enforcer beating the crap out of that guy. Like, you know, Gumby, turnt and burnt like Glizzy from Loves. Okay.
Bro, I walk through a Love's
Oh,
to go to the bathroom on the road trip. I would never buy food from there. I'm sorry.
no. I thought Jake mentioned some level of fandom for Ohio State in the past. Well, when Will Howard was there.
Yeah, I mean, I was
only
a big
been
Will
around
Howard
since
guy,
October 23, though.
Yeah, I'm not really. I wouldn't say I'm like a hardcore Ohio State fan. I mean, obviously it depends who they're playing and what time of year we're talking about. You know, I mean, if we're
Right.
if it's Ohio State and like some matchup against a team that I hate, like then that's a little different.
Some team that I hate.
You know.
I agree. All right, make sure you hit the like button. We've had over 2,000 views on YouTube. We've had over, where are we at on Twitter? We're at 41,400 views. Make sure you hit the like button. John Hamm, I'll support James for once. I also had a Civic when I was 16. Exactly. With neon blue lights. This is assuming James isn't 40 plus. If that's the case, I cannot support him. Exactly right.
I don't regret those decisions.
Yeah. Toyota Sienna, exactly right. No, I should have gone to the Advocates. How did you?
I don't understand it. I mean, I know we got stuff to get to today, but I don't understand how you're paying alimony. I don't get it.
I don't. I really don't. I agree with Mike. My dream car would be an Aston Martin DB12 or a good used DB11 or DB9. Jake, real quick, dream car.
I mean, probably. I mean, if we're talking sports cars, probably an Aventador SV. I'm a big fan of that. I think if we're talking about like, BMW money kind of car, I would probably be manual something, probably M3, only because the M2 is a 2-door, so it's kind of impractical. But I would love an Audi RS6 wagon. I would absolutely do that 100%. So,
I think, boy, that's tough.
I do think everyone
the M5, the new M5 wagon.
Mm-hmm.
That's one I would certainly look at. Probably an F12 TDF. There's in the different variations of the Ferrari F12 TDF definitely would be in the conversation. There's no doubt, but I think the BMW wagon that's out now that we talked about on the show is probably going to be better than that Audi. Just by the time the day is over, it's going to be a matter of how much torque to the ground BMW can get, because that's the advantage of the Audi. But I'm a BMW guy. I loved my Audi SQ5, but this X4M competition is just a different thing. It is different. 1 Series M.
Yeah.
Now you're getting into Jake's territory. You're getting into Jake's territory. All right. Hour number 2 of the Monty Show, presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com. Is the Big 12 getting any respect at all? This is a shocking turn. And I mean, maybe I should just throw it out there. Okay. Joel Klatt's preseason top 25. Okay. I mean, Joel Klatt, I don't think any of us take Joel Klatt as life and death.
What I take Joel Klatt as is a Big Ten homer. That's what I take him as.
I would take Joel Klatt as a Big Ten homer. Putting Penn State number 1. The very fact that you would have cock on thigh that high tells me either you're just trolling people, but that you have Clemson at number 4, that you have, Georgia, LSU, Alabama, 7, 8, 9. That you have Michigan in the top 10 is absolutely a farce.
But like all jokes aside, even Oregon, no one's talking about this. Oregon has questions at quarterback. I mean, I know we all know and love Dante Moore, but the reality is he's unproven on that level. And that's all cool that you went 13-0 and then got your ass beat by Ohio State, but like 5th, like come on, dude. I mean, I obviously we're gonna get to the Big 12, but I look at this and I say, okay, this is the same guy putting Oregon at 5 that's got Utah at 25. Like,
which is just crazy.
If you said to me, hey, like, who's a better team, Utah or Iowa State? Well, Iowa State went further last year, obviously, had a better year. But if you look at what Utah's done, I mean, I have some questions, right? I mean, I'm going to sit here and say that I think Utah's much improved, and I think they're going to be a problem in the Big 12. But
I would agree.
I think the biggest indictment on this screen if we're really getting into this, and again, this is just Joel Klatt. This is not the coaches poll. This is just Joel Klatt. But the idea that you have an Arizona State team that took Texas to the wire behind Indiana, the idea that that very same team is behind Michigan with what's going on with Michigan. I don't know how you look at this list right here and say, yeah, man, God, this is just super accurate.
I don't get it.
Like, I saw this, and I'm not trying to be a hater, but I honestly was embarrassed for him because Penn State being number 1 overall, that's an embarrassing take. There's no way, no how to justify Ohio State being number 1 overall and being ahead of even Ohio State.
Look at the on-3 graphic for the coaches poll.
Mm-hmm.
This feels a lot more realistic. Texas, Ohio State, Penn State 3rd. Okay, I can get down with that. Georgia 4th, can get down with that. Notre Dame 5 without a starting quarterback. I at least Joel has them 6th, right? But you look at Notre Dame 5, Clemson 6. Am I the only one that's asking what am I missing on Clemson? And if there's a Clemson fan, I would love to talk about this. Somebody explain to me, what am I missing with Clemson?
The incredible part with Clemson and Notre Dame is that Notre Dame, like you just said, right? Notre Dame doesn't have a quarterback, and people are putting them at 5 and 6.
How?
At that very same time, though, and I love this contrast. This is the one thing I love about college football. So Notre Dame doesn't have a quarterback, and people are putting them top 5. But Clemson has a veteran quarterback, has a guy in Dabo who's been to the college football playoff a bunch of times, won national championships, not recently, but has won them, like has been through it. And they're behind Notre Dame. Like, with all due respect, if you're going to have Notre Dame at 5, Clemson can't be 6. That doesn't logically work.
Yeah. But Oregon 7, Alabama 8, LSU 9. And then there you go, 11 with Arizona State, 20th with K-State, 20th, Iowa State 22, BYU 23, Texas Tech 24, Texas Tech 19 with Joel Klatt, ahead of Iowa State. Like, you look at Joel Klatt with Oklahoma at 24. Anybody notice what's not on this page? Now, I know we have Ohio State at 19.
Ohio State.
Thank you. We have Ohio State at 19.
Ohio State.
Right? Like, Oklahoma not on the coaches poll.
First time since 99.
1937.
Right.
Before the coaches poll was ever invented.
Right.
Oklahoma, and you guys really think with Oklahoma not even making the coaches poll, you don't have real reservations about Venables even keeping his job? If this is another sub 8, 9, probably 9-win season, if they go 6 wins. Now, I know we can't all be Mike Gundy, and 6 wins would be some kind of earth-shattering accomplishment, but I think there's some real stories on this, and the number one story is nobody believes in the Big 12.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think I think the wild, opinions on, like, the Big 12 not even really being consistently in the top 15. I mean, you have, some people think Arizona State is, a top 12 team. Other people have them as just barely inside the top 20. Like, I think that people have such a, I don't know if it's a disrespect, a lack of belief. I don't know, but I don't know either. It's crazy what happens. You say, okay, Big 12 college football playoff worthy Big 12 team took Texas to the wire. That's probably like a top 10 team, top 12 team, right? Probably. And Arizona State can't even really get a sniff. And the part that bothers me is we're more than happy to just say, it's Ohio State, it's Penn, it's Texas. Like, this is just a group of dudes that shows up to the first tee every year, and we're good to go. Like that. I feel like that's what these polls do. You look at every single poll, Joe Klatt, Brett McMurphy, even the coaches poll. They all have that little group of teams, and then you really start to get in the weeds once we start having to make opinions based on what you either believe in or don't believe in. Because I'm telling you that if you're the guy saying Clemson and Cade Klubnik are just amazing and they're going to be incredible, then don't be a hypocrite and say that ASU is not going to do the same thing with Sam Levitt in the cast of guys they have coming back, because they didn't lose some massive amount on their roster. They lost a little bit, but they're still largely the same team. And the only question that remains is how they're going to run that offense. But I don't have any doubt that if you put Clemson and Arizona State on the same football field, it would be highly competitive.
Yeah, I don't know how you fix it either. Because I just don't think, and this is just my opinion, I just don't see how you can put this club in a situation where, or this league in a situation where you don't see any of the teams in the Big 12 making any kind of push to be a national championship contender. Because that's what you're saying here. And I know everybody gets excited when we're like, oh, well, we can pretty easily have 5 Big 12 teams in there. Is there anybody here today who believes, without Jake Retzloff, that BYU is somehow the 23rd team in the country and better than Texas Tech? What this tells me is that a lot of people don't understand the football programs in the Big 12. That's what this says to me. K-State one of the 20, only one of the 20 best teams in the country? You're telling me there are 19 football teams in this country better than K-State? You're telling me that's as well as this league can do for a second spot? And Arizona State's 11th? And Arizona State is the best team in this league? And to your point, Jake, anybody see Utah on this grid?
How's BYU on there and Utah's not on there? BYU didn't even have a quarterback.
It's remarkable to me. So we can sit here and we can say Joel Klatt's some kind of nut job, but at least he's got Utah there, right? And not BYU. But I think this league is so incredibly invisible to 9 out of 10 people who vote in these things, whether it be coaches in this case. You watch when the AP comes out and you watch how steep and long the climb will be for the Big 12 to get multiple teams into the college football playoff all season. Well, I think it's almost impossible.
And the amazing thing is like, what was it? Joel Klatt had Baylor on his at the bottom, I think in the high 20s. Like, Baylor's not getting any love in any other one. And like, to me, Baylor's the perfect example of the point that I keep making, which is, hey, you're telling me, you're honest to God sitting here telling me that Baylor is in your top 25.
Yeah.
But another team in the Big 12 is not. Like, how is it that Baylor made your top 25, but then BYU is in another top 25 and Baylor's out? Like, I just think that these top 25, the coaches poll, like all these things do is they tell me who you are as a national writer who doesn't pay attention, in my opinion.
But look at number 25. What you're telling me is that Boise State belongs in this poll and Utah does not.
How can you make that case?
You can't tell me there's a single person watching this show who thinks that Boise State is better than Utah. If that is your belief, you know nothing about Utah football.
You can't
which is
say,
remarkable.
Dude, you can't say they're better than Utah and then at the same time say, hey, well, Ashton Jeanty was the Heisman last year and without him they wouldn't have done anything. Because now he's gone. So you can't make that case both ways. And that's the part that really drives me nuts. And I understand a lot of this, and I'm sure your guys are commenting, a lot of this is, oh, well, they're meant to be talking points. They're meant to start the fire on the season, Monty. That's what these are all about. And
has to be.
It did start the fire, but I think there are lines and limitations or I guess, guardrails that we kind of have to stay within on some level. Like, you can't honestly have Baylor in your top 25 right now. They're like Baylor, BYU. I mean, it would be the same thing as saying, oh, well, man, gosh, I believe Scott Satterfield and Cincinnati are the 25th best team, even though they haven't done a damn thing in 3 seasons. Like, you don't have a way to say that, man. And that's where I say, if you look at the coaches poll, you're going to see, hey, the top 10, very educated. Everyone knows them. We all agree on that. We're all good. Once you get past 10, that's when the conversation starts.
Yeah, I just am amazed. I look at some of these numbers and I am just amazed. Are you Yeti? Uphill climb, unfair. I mean, But that's the reality of it, right?
See, I disagree. Unfair is the wrong word. It's not unfair. The Big 12 has not earned love. The Big 12 has not done enough winning to justify them getting the bias. Because again, the Big 10 teams, the SEC teams, like Clemson is a perfect example of this. There's absolutely no reason to sit here and be like, oh yeah, Clemson's one of the 5 best teams in the country. They're a top 25 team. I would say I would have Clemson anywhere between 9 and probably 15, 16. That's a reasonable range.
When this came out today, I value Clemson as a top probably 15 team.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here saying to myself, 6th? 4th? Like what is it that I am missing about Clemson? And maybe I'm just over here selling them short. I don't know.
Well, everyone's saying, they're veteran and they're, Klubnik and the experience. I mean, can
I don't
not
argue
say that about everybody?
I don't argue that. Yeah, I mean, I think quite literally, Jake, I think you can say that about everybody, right? But it just feels lofty. David Person's a member for 7 months. Preseason polls are both inaccurate and meaningless. I don't think they're meaningless. I think when you're 3 weeks from Texas in Ohio State, when you're that close to kickoff and a coach's poll says, hey, we don't think Utah's one of the 25 best teams in the country, that's a kick in the balls. I'm saying it's meaningless because that's sending a message to other voters.
It's the sentiment.
Yeah, and it tells you what the country thinks. I mean, inaccurate, absolutely, you're right. Meaningless, yeah, I don't know if I can get down with you on that. John Hamm for $5. These preseason polls are usually consistent with the blue chip ratio on these teams' rosters to start. I don't even disagree with that. But you look at the defensive and offensive line, I mean, it is inarguable. You cannot argue. Utah has one of the top 5 lines in the entire country, probably top 2.
And everyone agrees with that, by the way. Yeah.
And Spencer Fano's the best right tackle in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not in the top 25. With an explosive quarterback, a defense that is going to be second to none, and Utah can't even get in the top 25. That's what's so crazy to me. And I think, John, to your point, there's just not a whole lot of talent evaluation going on. Because when you look at blue chip, and I totally agree, and that's what's meaningless.
Yeah.
Right? Oak State James, the Civic driver. If I was a conference that was worried, it would be the ACC. The Big 12 has 5 in the top 25. The ACC only has 2. 3 if you count Notre Dame. Why would you count Notre Dame with the ACC? What am I missing there? The Notre Dame is not in the ACC, so I'm not sure why you would count Notre Dame. Jake, Boise State has a QB. I don't even disagree with you. I don't even disagree. Listen, I'm not saying Boise State's not a good team. They're not better than the University of Utah Football Club. They're not. The Utah Utes are a much better team than Boise State.
I mean, you can't. Let me not be nice about it, dude. Boise State has not done enough to earn the auto bid into the top 25 in the preseason polls. You cannot sit here be like, hey, well, Ohio State and Ohio State and company. They're going to be top 5 every single year, even when they didn't have a quarterback, and then they went out and got Will Howard and won a natty. So the sentiment's going to shift to they should be top 3 every year now. Texas is Texas. I think we roundly agree that, in my opinion, the best team in the country. That's up for debate. But again, the issue I have is this is not a barometer of who, statistically speaking and talent-wise, are the best teams. This is a hey, what is the sentiment towards these teams? That's it. So
that's
the sentiment
100%
is
right.
The sentiment with Boise State is, Ashton Ginty and Spencer Danielson's going to replace guys, and they're somehow going to find a way to be the same team they were last year.
There is a level of trust.
They're not going to be.
There's a level of trust that Boise State is going to be able to replace Ashton Ginty. Because what was that club without Ashton Ginty last year?
Nothing.
nothing. And having watched most of their games, now I'm not the Oregon fan that Jake is, and the Oregon apologist that Jake is.
Right. Go Dante Moore.
Dylan Gabriel, who can't seem to hit the broadside of a barn in Browns camp these days, was a pretty good quarterback, and that was a pretty good team, and they took him to the end at Autzen. So last year they were good. He doesn't play for them anymore. And I think you have to, if we're going to ding Colorado so mightily for Shedeur and Travis Hunter, do we do nothing to Boise?
That's what I mean. It's the ultimate double standard.
It is.
Now, if you want to say, hey, well, Boise State should be regarded as the best G5 still. Okay, I can get down with that. I'm good with that because I think the program's deep enough. When you're talking about G5 talent, okay, cool. Boise's the best G5 team, and that's why they're at 25. Totally get it, dude. I am totally fine with that. But don't sit here and tell yourself a story that somehow Boise State is going to just reload and we're going to get Ashton Jinsey with another name and they're just going to go right back to the CFP, because I can tell you right now that is not happening. There is not a chance that that's going to happen.
And if we look at this, and then Donuts, I don't think you're wrong by any stretch, but if we look at this, to James's point, well, you have SMU and the U, right? But that doesn't mean that somehow, because the Big 12 has 5 teams at the bottom of this pool, that somehow they're more respected. That's just not the case. And I think when you look at Carson Beck and his injury issues and being new there and now breaking up with his girlfriend, and my point is, why is Miami a top 10 team? Why, if you look at SMU, how is SMU, and again, I'm going to ask the question, how is SMU ranked higher than any team in the Big 12 when they couldn't beat BYU at home last year? What has SMU done against major conference talent that should make us think, oh yeah, that's one of the 16 best teams in the country? And the answer is nothing. And I know that Rhett wants to keep coming out here and telling you the SEC sucks and the ACC is amazing. And, well, Rhett, what have you done to earn our respect? Because you got thumped last year against the better teams you faced. And if the playoff and the ACC championship game were any indication, you were not ready to go up head-to-head against the best teams in the country. And Clemson, this is why I say I have really no issue with Clemson. Now, call him the second or the fourth, or let's not get carried away. I know Jesus is a huge Clemson guy, but let's not.
God's name, image, and likeness.
Or excuse me, Jesus' dad is a big Clemson fan, apparently.
We built this program on NIL.
My point is, how is SMU ranked that high? Right? Like, yeah, the woof. Wait, is Monty saying respect needs to be earned? What a novel notion. I think every year, at some point, you're going to have to go and make a team prove that they belong.
Oh, you mean like Indiana last year?
Ohio State, Indiana, and I know I took a lot of heat from Wasikowski and every other Big Ten fan. And how many weeks will I have to sit up on this show and tell you this year that one of these teams isn't legit?
Well, Indiana, Google me.
Indiana was never a legitimate national championship contender, right? And I know the Big Ten's the deepest, best program in the country, and we just got to keep hearing that, and the show goes on. The show goes on, right? Like we just keep. It doesn't go on.
Would you have had him in the CFP last year if it was you?
Not close. Cock on thigh wouldn't have been in the CFP last year because they weren't one of the 12 best teams in the country, in my opinion.
What would you have done with Boise State? Because the G5
Boise State earned their way in. I think with Ashton Jinsey, a generational player, they were clearly the best G5 team. And in this system that we have now, the best G5 team gets in, Boise's in.
And they're entertaining as hell on TV, which I do think in this conversation does matter when you're talking about what teams you're putting in.
Totally agree. And we can sit here, But if I go back last year and I look at the 12 best teams, my opinion is BYU should have been in, SMU should have been out. It's not even, everybody was on, Alabama.
Stay hard.
And I totally get it, right?
Yeah.
The real victim was BYU, because BYU went to Dallas. Just check the front of the SMU jersey. They are Dallas. And they beat SMU. BYU should have been in SMU spot. There's no doubt about that. In my opinion, Ole Miss should have been in the college football playoff last year. They were one of the 12 best teams in the country. You can't lose the games that they lost. I totally get down with that. But if we're talking about the 12 best teams, Ole Miss should have been in long before Bama.
See, and that's the hard part, is that and this is precisely what's being talked about, by the way, and with college football leadership and, as Brett Yormark said, Mac Rhodes and company, trying to figure out, the CFP selection process. We can't have a thing where we say, hey, well, Indiana played nobody and they're 13-0 and they got in, even though nobody believes they're actually a great team. And
strength of schedule, man.
Yeah. And then at the same time say, well, hey, whoa, roll tide, right? Alabama lost those last couple of games there in an untimely fashion, I might add, and I'm cool with that. But those were against some of the best opponents Indiana would have seen all year. Yet we put Indiana in. That's precisely the problem with the CFP.
I struggle with a lot of things. And again, I think Ward Manuel's a complete fraud. I think the guy is just a disingenuous liar. And I think the damage that he did to teams like BYU and Ole Miss should never be forgotten. Because putting Penn State in on that easy road, trying to screw Ohio State. Now, granted, it worked out in the end for Ohio State, right? I don't think anybody would argue that.
Ohio State.
Anytime you
my
first
bad.
day on the equipment.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
My
bad.
When you screw Ohio State like that and they go on the single greatest run in the history of college football,
which is not conjecture, by the way. Just want to point that out. That's not conjecture. Everyone agrees on that.
It's not conjecture, but it is justice, right? And in my mind, the aggrieved party last year was BYU. They were better than SMU. I think Ole Miss is one of the 12 best teams. I do not believe that Penn State or Indiana belonged in the college football playoff, because I'm not going to sit here and tell you a team like Indiana, who lost to every quality opponent they faced, was one of the 12 best teams in the college football universe.
And that's why I say you look at, but with that thought, you look at this coaches poll and you just sit here and you say, okay, well, bro, everyone's sitting here complaining, right? Complaining about, hey, who got in, who didn't get in, you know, who was on the bubble, who wasn't, what's the formula? Yet here we go again with a coaches poll, the coaches in college football giving us their opinion. Here we go again with mediocre ass takes and selections. And I get it. It's just a preseason poll, but AP poll be damned when that thing comes out. You're all going to sit here and you're going to say, well, the Big 12's a victim. And man, what else can they do, Monty? Well,
they're going to be a victim of the MLS writer in Minneapolis who votes on the AP top 25.
Yeah.
Right. That's who they're going to be a victim of. And it's just one of those things for me where I feel like the Big Ten gets the benefit of the doubt because, well, it's the Big Ten, so of course they are, right? Indiana and Penn State were not two of the 12 best teams in the country last year. Simply were not. Mm-hmm. But they were there because Indiana and the SEC control it. And they were really there because Ward Manuel, that POS, was the director of the selection committee. And it was the most humiliating, worst selection committee we've ever seen. Completely ignored strength of schedule. I don't know how else you would explain it. It just is. It's one of those things where the Big Ten at some point is going to be back as the preeminent football league in this country. There are too many good programs, whether it is SC, whether it is, I think Jed's got something rolling at Washington right now, Oregon. I think Michigan State's on the right road. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like everything I've seen with their program and the building they're doing, I feel like Michigan State is back on the right road. I mean, who knows when James Franklin's going to have another scandal in his program, but they've got a lot of returners.
It'll
this
happen.
year.
Don't worry. He's reliable.
right? But Drew Aller's not one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He just isn't, right? And you look at these stories, they repeat year after year. Why did Ohio State finally get over and go on that run? Because Will Howard was playing elite football, right? Why did Penn State lose to Notre Dame? Why did Indiana lose to Notre Dame? Because their quarterbacks panicked and threw terrible interceptions.
Yes.
Against one of the best defenses in the country, right? And we can sit, and you guys can tell me, I know Penn State Nation, all of you that go to Epstein U, I know all of you are terribly upset every time I say that Drew Aller's not one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
Oh, Monty, what do you mean?
You stick to on the field, Monty.
Monty, it's in the past. Don't talk about Jerry or...
You stop talking about those child molesters.
Gosh, how could you?
What do you mean Epstein list?
The guy we're going to talk about later in the show who's dealing with another Jerry was accused of rolling around naked in the locker room with a knife. That guy? Like, that's why we still talk about it, dude. It's not hard to understand.
I just think when we go over this and over this and over this, at some point, we've got to take human beings out of it. And if you took human beings out of these votes, the Big 12 would have far more standing in the preseason coaches poll than they do. It's as simple as that.
And I think, one other thing, if you're just tuning in, we talked about earlier in the show, collective bargaining and this kind of story that's cooking, with Ross Dellinger and this portion of the conversation. At some point, some way, somehow, if collective bargaining were to go through, the absolute arguments and people dying on the hill of what they think the format should be is going to get entirely worse. Like, dude, if you have a players union that's collectively bargained with the leadership of college football, with the NCAA, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who you're collectively bargaining with, but if that were to happen, dude, I can't even begin to understand the impact that's going to have on format negotiations and how that's going to work. Because if you're going to sit here and say, hey, well, you guys got to, be a union and you want to be a union and all that good stuff. Well, then the winnings of those games, now we got to have a different conversation about access and all that. So I'm just saying this conversation is not going to get easier as we go on.
No, I don't think so, but it is what it is. I just think that when you look at the Big Ten, who knows what's going to happen? Maybe the NCAA never makes an announcement. If Michigan just plays football this year, dude, they're one of the best teams in the conference talent-wise. Now, Sharon Moore, I truly do not believe Sharon Moore can coach his way out of a paper bag. I think Sharon Moore is a good offensive coordinator, not a great one. And I think he's a terrible leader of men. But Michigan's got talent. Now, is that talent going to be developed? I don't know. In the last decade, how much talent have they really developed? Not a lot. And I think that when you look at teams like Lincoln at USC, he's going to get fired if they don't win 10 games, in my opinion. And I just don't see how that happens. But when we're talking about Big 10, Big 12, I think I can make a very strong argument. The Big 12 on the football field is just as good, maybe a little better than the Big 10, because I think you look at this graph. Texas, in my opinion, with all due respect to Ohio State, Texas is the only elite program on this map. I think right now, I think it's Texas and everybody else. I think as we get going, there's a real good chance that the boys in Columbus are going to have a pretty damn good football team. I think it's going to take them some time, right? As we saw last year with some turnover, I think it's going to take some time. I'm telling you now, Penn State, Notre Dame, Clemson, I don't know what to make of Alabama right now. I have real reservations about, in the top 10, I have real reservations about Penn State, Notre Dame, Clemson, and Alabama. And I need to see Carson Beck at Miami. I have no question that LSU is the second best team in the country right now today. I have no question that Michigan, and we'll see what those scumbag losers in Ann Arbor wind up getting from the NCAA. I have no question that Michigan's got talent. They just don't have a good coaching staff. And I look at the rest of this thing and, again, objectively, because I don't necessarily have to worry about what everybody thinks about my opinion. I look at Iowa State. I think Iowa State's the 4th team in this conference. BYU doesn't belong on this graph in any way, shape, or form. I think you look at Utah, Texas Tech, Kansas State. I think they're all elite. I'm very curious to see what the rest of this league turns into. What is TCU? Is TCU going to play defense and support that offense finally? We're going to find out, because if they do, that team can beat anybody. Shouty, can we say Texas is back? No, I think it's too early. Did you guys see finally, and you don't even know who Pete Kwiatkowski is, did you guys see finally in the coach's opinion, the survey that came out, Pete Kwiatkowski, 2nd best defensive coordinator in the country? I'm telling you, the guy is an absolute witch when it comes to defensive formations. The guy is going to be amazing. That defense is going to be really good. They've got the best defensive player in the country. How should the at-large teams be picked? If by human, who? Dude, don't even start with that. My opinion is very simple. Give me the 12 best strength of schedules, the 12 best strength of records, and the 12 best records against P4 teams. That's what I want to see. I know that's unpopular because that pretty much hands every at-large bid to the SEC. Right? I get it. But I think those are the metrics.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how else you're going to do it. How else would you do it? I mean, what other metric would you use, right? Like, again, you don't get to be a fan and say you want it decided by certain metrics and then be all pissy when it favors the SEC.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have it both ways, to which I say, okay, figure it the hell out then. Let's get it decided on the field. You want to talk a bunch of junk about the SEC? Let's see what it is when Ohio State's got to meet, Texas on a neutral site every single year, or Penn State, or whoever you want to look at, man.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. John Hamm, the truth is there is never a huge difference between 20 and 40, and can usually make an argument for any team to be top 25. It's why college ball is the best. I think there's some validity in that. But I think when we're talking about how many teams actually have the opportunity to win the national championship, I think it's 2 or 3. Because I think you look at how talented Texas is. I think you look at how talented and experienced LSU is. I mean, those, in my opinion, those are the 2 best teams in the country.
Yeah.
We need to see what Ohio State has. How good. I'm not even going to curse anybody. How good's the quarterback at Ohio State? I'm not going Oak State James here. Tim Eddington, Dampier will throw more picks than TDs. Take it to the bank. I don't think that's. See,
let's say that's true, though. Let's say it's true.
But wait, why would you think that? Why would you think that? Ask yourself, what am I basing? What am I basing Dampier throwing more picks than touchdowns? What are you basing that on? Because he's got a better offensive line. He's got not deep, but better wide receivers. They're going to run the ball very effectively through him. There's no indicator that he's going to throw a lot of interceptions. He is a guy, in my opinion, that now has an elite level of coaching. He has elite facilities. He has elite teammates. He's better as a quarterback right now today than he has been at any time in his life, just based on where his 2 feet are standing, because of everything that's around him. And for me, the kid can throw the ball far better than we have seen. I agree, let's make him do it on the field. But the idea that here we are on August 4th and we're like, oh, this kid's going to throw more picks than TDs. You have no basis in logic, in fact. You have no basis to say that. It is, I'm not even a Utah fan, but judging the quarterbacks in this conference, and I put a lot of time into understanding these offenses. I mean, you have some really prolific talent bases in this, at the quarterback position in this league. Dampier, in my opinion, can easily be the best quarterback in this league right now today. Right now, today, the way I should say the way they have historically used the tight end in this offense, with his ability to break contain, that is a lethal combination. And that's not even throwing the ball. That is block downs, that is misdirection, read option. The tight ends at Utah block exceptionally well. And that alone is going to prevent him from throwing interceptions. And then you start looking at the tape that we're seeing, Kyle Whittingham talking about the way that he has been accurate. The offensive coaches talking about his ability now to spin the football with velocity to the sideline, which he could not do last year. A lot of his mistakes were made on quick decisions. Like, he's growing as a quarterback. And guys like Dampier that are that talented, and I said this about Jake Retzloff when everybody was telling me I had no idea what I was talking about Jake Retzloff. Guys that talented don't stand still. They just don't stand still. It is a matter of, are the coaches going to get in his way? And the answer at Utah is unquestionably no. Beck and him have been together. They know each other, right? So I look around the Big 12. Avery Johnson's the perfect example of this. There's one guy that's going to make or break K-State. It's not the coaching staff. It's not the wide receivers, the offensive line, the running backs, the tight ends. One guy. Avery Johnson. Did you do what you needed to do this year to become a better thrower? Where was Jake Retzloff? Last year, a year ago, what was he doing all summer? Well, he was in Southern California. He's working with John Beck and Tom House. He's got his wide receivers in Southern California. They're spending time. They're working together. He's mastering the playbook. Avery Johnson's got to be a better thrower in tough situations. It's Drew Aller. Drew Aller's got the benefit of all his receivers and all of his running backs coming back. He's got one of the best defensive lines and offensive lines in the Big Ten. Does he better understand what defenses are trying to do to him and how they are disguising him? Drew Aller's never been able to recognize the disguise. It's why he was so easily intercepted by Notre Dame last year. Jake and I were sitting at Nora's Italian in Las Vegas, predicting that interception was coming because you could see what Notre Dame was doing to him, only he couldn't see it.
Yeah, and I think the real shame, I mean, I agree with everything there, and I think the real shame of it is Avery Johnson's probably got time and a half arm that Drew Aller has. I mean, Avery Johnson's got a good arm. The problem is
physicals are amazing.
He just doesn't, to your point, doesn't. I don't know. I hate and I feel uncomfortable condemning dudes and taking dudes to the woodshed and saying things like, well, he doesn't watch enough film. I don't know if it is that he doesn't watch enough film or that he doesn't know how to apply it to the field. I mean, I don't know if that's a play calling issue or what, but at some point the dude has got to be able to say, okay, this is where the ball should go, but hey, the defense did this is where I should go with it. Like, you're a quarterback. Like, yeah. I thought Netflix did a phenomenal job of this with the quarterback series they did this year of highlighting the three of those guys talking about their pre-snap like mentals and what they're looking at and all the things you got to go through. We see the physical, but the mental is the game. And it's just so frustrating that, one Big 12 program has a quarterback that isn't good with the mentals. Another program in TCU has this amazing quarterback in Josh Hoover who bombs it down the field and they can't stop anybody. Like, dude, get your stuff together here, bro. Like put the pieces together.
Yeah, I will just continue to tell you, when you start looking at the way that this league is put together, if Devin Dampier throws 10 touchdowns and 20 interceptions, Utah will go winless. But there's nothing that makes you think that's going to happen. Nothing. The Natural says a lot of questions, a lot of QBs will decide a lot of things in the Big Ten for sure. I think the Big Ten is probably as vulnerable as it has ever been at the top of this league. And I think Ohio State is the best team, but I need to see what Oregon is. I need to see what SC is. USC has all the tools they need. It is simply a matter of their schedule going on the road. Going on the road with SC's schedule is I'm not even sure how you win enough games with this schedule unless you are absolutely elite. And I don't know that they are elite.
Well,
but
you got to be able to go over the top, bro. I mean, before you name these teams, the Big Ten, bro. The Big Ten is a conference that is ground and pound and play a lot of defense, big in the trenches. That's what the Big Ten is. And the teams who are successful in the Big Ten are able to go over the top, beat your safeties with regularity. And that's why there's such a discrepancy between the good teams and the bad teams. So for USC, like you're about to read off all these difficult opponents. How many of these opponents are going to have a defense to where you can take advantage of them 25 yards down the field? Because I don't think it's going to be a lot of them.
Well, I mean, and they have the horses at wide receiver to do that. But their schedule on the road at Purdue, they should win that game.
Mm-hmm.
At Illinois, that's going to be a tough game. At Notre Dame, that's going to be a tough game. At Nebraska, that's going to be a tough game. At Oregon, that's going to be a tough game. They have one of the most difficult, USC football has one of the most difficult road schedules I think that we've seen in some time in the Big Ten. Their home games, Missouri State, Georgia Southern, Michigan State, Michigan, Northwestern, Iowa, and UCLA, they should go undefeated at home. They don't have, they don't have a national championship. They don't have Penn State coming to the Coliseum this year. They don't have a legitimate contender where you have no questions about that team, right? Like their home schedule, they should go undefeated, right? So if you give them Missouri State, Georgia Southern, Michigan State, Michigan, Northwestern, Iowa, and UCLA, that's 7. If they beat Purdue, that's 8. Okay, where are you going to go to get a win? Because I don't see you going to Oregon in November and getting a win.
Tough environment.
I think that's a really tough environment. I don't see you going to Nebraska in late November or in late October and getting a win. I think that's a really tough environment.
The only thing I would say about the Nebraska game, it is a tough environment. Well, obviously, it's going to be colder.
And you've got Patrick Mahomes at quarterback.
Yeah, well, he clearly can be had. We've seen this.
He's another kid that needs to be better. I don't know. My point is, I think right now, I'm very confident saying the Bucs are the best team in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I want to see Oregon. I want to see SC. I want to see, again, where's the punishment for Michigan? Because they're wildly talented. They're wildly talented. The Chad Carter, hey, fam, only 2 big points for me. 1,
Stay hard.
Ohio State will be good, but the curve is steep to be as great as last year's team. You can't do that. Last year was last year. Compartmentalize it. I totally agree with you.
Yep.
There's a reason it's hard to repeat in college football. Number 2, the Big Ten really needs the new Pac teams, Michigan State, Nebraska, Wisco. Wisco's not going to be good, in my opinion, to start carrying the banner more than ever. Ohio State can't carry the whole damn conference. Heck, even Indiana and Illinois can win double digits. I think Illinois is going to be a problem. I mean, he has those guys playing with drool and fangs, like
length and girth.
I mean, my God, they can be good. They can be very good. John Hamm, Lincoln Riley won't get fired this year because that will ruin their 26 class, which is top 5, I believe, right now. So he has 2 more years to turn it around. I think he's got the best 2026 class. But he is an incredible developer of offensive talent. It's always Lincoln Riley's defense in the middle of the field.
Listen, man,
and it hasn't changed.
You play in the Big Ten. 10 wins is assumed. That's the bar.
I would agree with that. Unless your road games are every difficult team in the Big Ten.
But that's what we said about Ohio State, right? That's what we said about Ohio State,
Yeah.
right? And then look what they did. So it's possible.
Yep. 2 pants. Some conferences are made up of haves and have-nots. Meanwhile, almost every team in the Big 12 have some. I agree with that. Listen, if you want to argue quarterbacks, great. How many teams in this league have really good defenses? Look at Texas Tech. If we're going to talk Big 12 football, do we believe at any point in time that Texas Tech will have one of the best defenses in this league? Well, they should, based on what's on paper, But Joey McGuire has not had exactly stellar moments defensively in his tenure.
Yeah, we've all learned the application lesson.
Well, I think there are a lot of questions about Joey's got to prove he's a grower, not a shower, right? Like I need him to
length and girth.
I need Joey to be a grower and a shower because
Stay hard.
He needs to be a guy that, hey, look at this piece of paper. We're amazing. Hey, look at how well we played defensively in this here game in November. Look, we went to Salt Lake City and we dominated them physically. You want to be one of the best teams in the Big 12, Joey McGuire and Tech? Pew, pew! Go to Salt Lake City and do the job. And what's going to be, that's going to be one of the games of the year. The natural, Wisconsin's schedule is rough. Jesus. That is, you want to talk about rough. Listen to Wisco's schedule, you guys. Miami of Ohio. I don't know how you win that game. Middle Tennessee, geez, Louise. At Alabama, Maryland. At Michigan, Iowa, Ohio State. At Oregon, Washington. At Indiana, Illinois. At Minnesota. Good teams.
Enjoy your 5-win season, bro.
Yeah, good teams win. Good teams win a lot of those games. Miami of Ohio, Middle Tennessee. You're not going to Bama and winning. Maryland, at Michigan. You should beat Iowa at home. You're not going to beat Ohio State. You're not going to beat Oregon. You're not going to beat Washington. You're probably not going to beat Indiana, Illinois, and then Minnesota. That's a 7-win schedule on the upside. So Nebraska is another dark horse this season. But don't we always say that, Eric, about Nebraska? Like,
yeah, how many seasons in a row can you be a dark horse?
But Raiola, this should be the year that he pulls the Cornhusker out, right? Like this is the year where, you know, he's got Dane Key and you would expect guys like Hunter and Pritchett and Barney, and you would expect, you know, Emmett Johnson to be a guy like he's an upperclassman now, and you would expect that defense. You bring in the talent that Matt Rule has brought in there. And
we'll see.
But again,
he's got to prove it.
Has he ever been a guy that's like, where you're like, I mean, goddamn, Matt Rule? Because I think there's a belief that Matt Rule was somehow this amazing coach at Baylor, and that Matt Rule was just, I mean, the greatest coach we've ever seen. And I'm not even saying Matt Rule's a bad coach. He was 19-20 at Baylor. In 39 games, he won 19 games. He had one season at Baylor. One. Was 11-3 in 2019, 8-1 in conference. And I totally agree that, hey, that was a great season. Big 12 champs, lost the Sugar Bowl where they got absolutely butt whooped against Georgia, if you remember right. And you start saying to yourself, okay, well, what was that team really made of, right? Well, that was the Charlie Brewer, Gary Bohannon year, and you feel like, hey, these games are amazing until you figure out they lost to Oklahoma, and they lost to Oklahoma, and they lost to Georgia, right? And you're like, oh, well, who did they beat, Monty? Stephen F. Austin, UTSA, Rice, Iowa State at home. And I remember that game. That was one of the best games of the year. At K-State, they beat Texas Tech in what I think was the double overtime game. Oklahoma State, where they just, you guys remember that at T-Boone, they went and just walloped. West Virginia, TCU, Texas was back, but apparently not yet. And then Kansas. Matt Rule had 1 year. 1 year. So have we ever seen Matt Rule just absolutely build a program? And no. Not when you lose to Oklahoma twice in a year and then you lose in the Sugar Bowl. No, we haven't. So Eric, I feel like this is right? This is Nebraska, you got your boy at quarterback.
Been saying it every year since Buddy's been there, bro. Oh, Nebraska's a dark horse. Oh, man. Okay. I'll believe it when I see it, dude.
I think in the Big 12, Kansas is a dark horse. But again, Kansas going to be something more than a season wrecker this year? Well, you better not start the way you started last year.
Well, Monty, the new stadium looks really nice, so they should have a better
IPF
season
and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I get it. I don't know. Big Ten isn't invulnerable. It's just that teams are finally deciding to no. This is completely backwards. With all due respect, it's not teams making a decision. That's not what this is. Because if teams were making a decision, Minnesota wouldn't suck out loud.
Mm-hmm.
This league is Ohio State and Penn State. Cock on thigh and Ohio State. That's what it is. Until somebody else emerges. Because I'm not going to be impressed with Oregon in the regular season. And this is Ohio State and Epstein U. I can't pick which name to go with regularly. Epstein U feels like it. But I'm not, and listen, I could be wrong. I've watched the Big Ten for a lot of years. This is not Wisconsin trying and Minnesota trying and Rutgers once every 35 years and Northwestern. Those teams are terrible. What this league is right now is Michigan in a down cycle, waiting for their axe to fall on them. USC, who knows? Oregon, I don't know. Washington, I think Washington's going to be much better. Now, admittedly, oh man, that hurts. I'm a huge Jed Fish fan. I think he's finally got a quarterback that he can really say, yeah, this is my quarterback at Washington, right? Like, I just don't see that this league is over the top.
It's not.
Right?
It's not.
It's not. And neither is the Big 12, and neither is the ACC. But how many teams are we talking about in the SEC? I think a lot. So, oh, look at that. It's fair. I say the word Kansas Jayhawks, and it's fair shows up. Kansas fares better not traveling every game this season. Good. Isn't that the truth? Not sure how great our quarterback play is going to be. Well, listen, I think again, and I don't mind saying it. I think Kansas doesn't have a quarterback problem. I'm telling you now, Kansas has a defense problem. And in this league, you better be able to cover. And I think you see so many starters from the transfer portal on Kansas's defense because I think nobody talked about that last year. You legitimately have 6 new transfer bodies going into Lawrence to start. And I think it is really, really important. And you guys probably will be like, Monty, who's that? I think Bengali Kamara is the most important defensive player on that roster. And he is a guy that should have probably been starting at South Carolina, and I don't care, and I don't know why. He's at Kansas, and he's a really good linebacker. And if he plays really good football, they're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, yeah, he does. Jalen Daniels, 40. Motherfucker, you look 60, right? Like, you know. Obligatory Willie Cox needs fired. Well, this is true. This is true. There's no question about it. You know, I agree with you. All right. Need to talk about a certain website, hopeforkiri.org. Some folks reached out to me, you guys here at 5 o'clock Mountain Time on the Monty Show. And I just cannot tell you how important this situation is. We do a lot of talking about kids on this show. And I'm asking you right now, pull up this website, hopeforkiri.org. Do it right now. Take 20 seconds and do it right now. Pull up this website while we're all sitting here. This is a really urgent situation. This is a 3-year-old boy here in Utah that needs a bone marrow transplant. And they are literally out of minutes. We are out of any time at all. And it was brought to my attention that, hey, can we do anything to publicize this situation? And yes, we can. And it's been such a big situation that even the local media is covering it. And while you watch the story, indulge me. I ask you to indulge me. Go to hopeforcurie.org. Hopeforcurie.org.
New at 9, a family from Holiday needs your help to save a young boy's life. This is 3-year-old Kiri. Now, though you would never know it, he's been diagnosed with cerebral ALD, an aggressive and potentially fatal brain disease. While the disease has no cure, doctors say a bone marrow transplant could halt its progression and save Kiri's life. But there is a catch.
Unfortunately, due to the circumstances and the development that Kiri has, we have a September 8th deadline. And that process takes 3 to 4 weeks. And because of that, we really only have about 10 to 14 days to come up with the donors.
If you'd like to see if you are a match for Kiri or would like to donate money to help with his medical costs, go to hopeforcurie.org.
Hopeforcurie.org. That's what we're asking you to do today. Go check that website out, please. He's 3 years old, you guys, and he has a brain condition that only has one avenue forward, and it doesn't include a cure. But a bone marrow transplant can substantially improve his life, and it's really difficult to find a match. It is, when you're out there looking for a bone marrow donor, it is really hard to find a match. One, it is incredibly difficult financially. Two, it is just so rare. The percentages are not on your side. So when we're talking about 10 days, that is a lot of asks. So we need to move, and we need to move right now. If you know somebody, if it's in your heart, please go to this hand. Please go to hopeforcurie.org. He's 3 years old. And as much as we talk about kids on this show, take 5 minutes and go flip around that website and do what your heart tells you to do. If you can donate, if you think you're a candidate, if you want to find out if you're a candidate, hopeforcurie.org. Hopeforcurie.org. And I can only tell you so many times that no kid should struggle the way this kid is struggling. And I understand that there's no cure for what ails this young boy. But that does not mean that we can't substantially improve the quality of his life. And if we can just spend 5 minutes at hopeforcurie.org to understand and help any way that we can help, I would ask you to do that. And I know a lot of you have gotten burned out on how we ask you guys to help us with initiatives. I totally get that. But you look at what this is. It's a 3-year-old boy who needs our help, right? So when you look at these situations, just go and read the section about how we can help, right? How to help. It's on the top of the website, top right corner of the website, hopeforcurie.org, how you can help, and check it out if you can. It just, when I saw the story, obviously, when people reach out to us, and a lot of people reach out to us, I would just ask you to please consider going and checking out that website, because it's a tough story. But if you can help, let's help. Kim Coulter says, I'll do something. And listen, you do what you can do, and I appreciate that. Wow, Domer Wop.
Domer
Wop. Good to see you, buddy. I'm sorry, but it seems Pitt and Narduzzi have an inferiority complex. Go back to the kids' table. Wow. I think Pitt's actually going to be better this year, but they're a mid-table ACC team. Yeah. This is a very interesting year in college football because, again, the proof's going to be in the pudding. Here we are on August 4th, and I will continue to tell you, I'm a Notre Dame fan. We don't have a quarterback, right? You can look at every team, and you can say this is an issue, that's an issue. Ohio State, young quarterback. Michigan, all kinds of stuff hanging over their head. They're still trying to figure out how to feed all those hungry kids those cheeseburgers that Jimmy took to Los Angeles. Like, we've all got issues. I look at the Big 12. Fewer teams in this league have issues. And it's starting to get fixed. There's no more excuses at places like Utah. There's no more excuses at places like Texas Tech. TCU has no excuses. A lot of questions on that roster answered. TCU's got to perform. Right? You look at the Big 10. Questions abound about every team in that league. And you pick the top of the table. Questions about Ohio State. How do you play after a season like that? Well, because you have the best defensive player, arguably, in Caleb Downs in the country, and the best offensive player in college football. Like that's not rocket science. Who's gonna get the football to the wide receivers? How good is Sane? Right? How good is Underwood? How many quarterbacks in that league am I asking? How good are they?
Yeah, how good your play caller, right? I mean, how good your offensive coordinator? Because that's all fine and dandy. You got a great quarterback, but if the play calling sucks, we talk about this all the time in the Big 12, man. And really, we talk about it in the SEC even more. Like, think about everything that they went through with Jalen Milroe, right, at Alabama, and all that play calling struggle and the interceptions, and like I think the difference is there's expectations at some of these schools, and there's not at others.
Well, that truer words have never been spoken about that. There is no doubt about that. Gabriel, there is a GoFundMe set up. It's awesome to see people donate nearly $34,000. The total goal is $325. And you know what? I will make my first donation extremely soon. And Gabriel, I appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate that.
It's tough when you see a kid like Curie and you're trying to figure out, like what's legitimate and what's not. And I say it all the time. Every time I ask you guys to do something, I know that you get hit every single day. But this kid needs a donor match immediately, or he's not going to survive, right? Like that is the absolute truth. That's the reality of this situation. They have to start treatment September 8th. And if they don't, the outlook is not good. And they only have a couple of weeks to find a match. So please go to hopeforcurie.org. You can pick up donation kits. You can, try to figure out if you're a match. Like, there's just so much you can do on his website, hopeforcurie.org. The bone marrow swab kits are the Cliff Dining and Pub in Draper, Realty One Group, Signature in Midvale, which is right over on Union Park. I know it well. The Realty One Group in Draper, off of Bangeter, right by where Jake used to live. One Group Signature in Vernal, a new day spa in Murray. You guys, there's so many ways to do it. And if you want to make a GoFundMe donation, please feel free to do that. It's at the bottom of the first how to help. If you click how to help, it'll take you down the page. And there is a GoFundMe there. Their goal is $325,000. They're at $33,954. So any way you can help is always appreciated. But this kid's 3 years old, man. It sucks. Yeah. I think any of us who are parents, brothers, sisters, there's just no way to figure that out. There's nothing good you can say. Big Daddy Magic. What's the big news for the show? I was on official business. Oh, you were on official business.
Well, man, should we just start the show over? I mean, what do you think?
This is the Monty Show. The truth.
Yeah.
Who leads in NIL money? Can we correlate NIL spend to success this year? But the problem is with that, Ohio State had one of the best coaching staffs in the history of college football. And you had a quarterback guru, and you get guys that come in, and you have a guy like Chip Kelly that, when he you get Will Howard coming into his system. I mean, they essentially embed together, and they do the deal of making a football player in that system. And Will Howard, outside of that one throw against Oregon, it's pretty damn special last year. Yeah. And I think we saw it in the playoff, right? So, man, Toot Pants, Kiri, 70% of patients in need do not have a match donor from their family and must rely on unrelated registries. Yeah.
So rough.
Trying to find you guys a bone marrow donation is, it's less, your percentages are less than a needle in a haystack. It is, I cannot tell you how difficult it is to find a bone marrow donor. And I hope none of us ever need to know. But when you're talking about a 3-year-old kid and his percentages are less than needle in a haystack, we have to move. We have to do something. That's why we're talking about it today, because I hate the thought of a 3-year-old who has no idea the ramifications of his day. He has no idea he's got this brain disease, right? Like, he has no idea that his life may very well end soon as he knows it. Like, it's just, it shouldn't be that way.
No.
Right. So if we can find a donor, please, if you want to find out if you're able, hopeforcurie.org. That's the best way to do it. Look at that. T-Duck, Jake's best friend on the show now.
Wow.
Jake live down the street from Autzen Stadium. Like, Jake can look out his window and he sees ducks flying. That's how close to Autzen Stadium the Ducks only live at, because it's
my word.
Okay. How far will loser of Texas OSU game drop in the polls?
3-4 spots at most.
No. Early, I think it's like 10 spots. Because somebody's going to get exposed as a fraud.
At the same time, though, everyone knows those are two of the best teams in the country. No one disputes that. So, and I think it depends how you lose.
And if you're going to lose week 1 to a big opponent.
Yeah, seriously.
Right? Because I think when we look at the Ohio State, I think you have to ask yourself, how much talent do they have? Oh, a lot. Without question. When you look at Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Brandon Innis, you look at, that offensive line, Max Clare, Julian Sayin, you look at Donaldson and Peoples, they have two pretty damn good running backs. I look at that defense and you're in awe of it, right? Kenyatta Jackson. Caleb Downs, Jalen McClain, like you look at the way that Sonny Styles played last year, Arvell Reese, you look at just the talent on that Ohio State defense and the offense, the talent that they have. It's going to be tough. But if there's one team that's built to beat Ohio State, it's the Texas Longhorns, man. Like, and I know that's probably not popular on this show. Whoa. It's probably not popular on this show. Dude, that was a massive. I am suffering over here. That was a massive tricep twitch. All day play that music. Oh. Getting back in the gym is miserable. But man. But you look at what Texas has, and you say to yourself, God damn, Ryan Wingo, only a sophomore, DeAndre Moore, Emmett Mosley. No, and I know nobody's talking about Emmett Mosley coming in from where Stanford, I guess. Those are three pretty damn good wide receivers. And you look at Jack Endries from Cal, starting tight end at Texas. Did I mention that they have like 37 running backs on their depth chart? And CJ Baxter's not number one, right? Quintravian Wisner's number one. Dude, they're going to be really good. That's only the offense. Do you know that they only have one transfer starting on defense? How many teams in this country right now can say our defense is so good we only have one transfer? And it's Cole Brevard at nose tackle. He played at Purdue and Penn State. That guy.
Purdue.
And then you just go up and down and you're like, I don't even know. Forget Colin Simmons, who, again, I'm just going to say out loud, he's only a sophomore. And it's him or Caleb Downs as the best defensive player. Alex January, like you start looking at all of those guys on defense coordinated by, I think, the best defensive coordinator in the country. Bro, like I don't even know how.
It's trouble, bro. They're very good.
That's going to be obviously the game of the year when it's played, but we're going to look back on that game and say, God damn. Monty needs a shoulder muscle donor match, dude. And you know what? This is what you get when you get out of shape and you don't go to the gym. Like, I legit didn't go to the gym for 6 months. And we started going slower and slower. And now I'm in the gym Saturday I did bench and chest and tries.
Was it as hard as you thought it would be going back?
I'm in way more soreness. The DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness.
DOMS.
The DOMS is just eating this ass. Like it is brutal. And
Hugh Janus.
I even went light. I only, like when we were benching dumbbells, I only did 50-pound dumbbells. I only had a single plate on both sides on the bench.
Do you even lift?
Like, and I started slow. Like I started empty bar, 25 pounds, went up to a plate on each end. Like it really wasn't that difficult. I was like, all right, cool. And then we did a bunch of cable stuff. I'm a big believer. I start with face pulls every day. Probably shouldn't be doing that. But anyway, my point is, when I go to the gym, I start with face pulls. It's one of the best warm-ups, and I think it's really important to protect your upper back. But we did a bunch of cables, overhead stuff with the triceps, and I am just jacked up, dude. Like my pecs are, I can't even move my arms, bro. And I haven't done biceps. Biceps aren't, like we did leg day today. You're done. Do you understand how bad tomorrow morning is going to be for me? Tomorrow might be a day off. Like,
dude, it's rough, bro.
Oh, it is going to be rough. Big Daddy Magic. Well, so I don't get to know what the news is. What news? What news are you talking about? That's fine. How are you due when I was on official? What news are you talking about? Do you mean that Jake moved to Eugene, Oregon? That was the big news today.
Yeah, and by the way, you can just go back to the beginning too.
Yeah, just rewind the show, man.
Yeah, it's all good.
And that the King of Thailand's right. Oak State James and Jake are now roommates, and
stay hard.
Who knows what else? I mean, I don't ask questions about what happens after dark. Lee Jensen.
Wow.
Bacavo. If Monty needs a new workout partner, I know a guy, dude. My wife is kicking meet me at the gym at 4:50.
Bacavo.
Yeah, that's the problem. You're busy eating a Bacavo at 4:50 in the morning. I will. Okay, so wait. So I had a cheat meal yesterday, and my wife wanted to go full Bacavo. And I was like, dude, I'm not feeling chicken sandwiches, right? And I'm kind of on this thing. Yeah, no, I'm not feeling the Bacavo, right? Rectally speaking, we're kind of on this thing where I'm a little burned out on fried chicken right now. Like
that's the issue, isn't it?
It is, Coach, but I never eat fried chicken. It's very, very rare. I don't eat chicken nuggets really unless they're Impossible nuggets. My wife, you hand my wife a chicken strip, you have a best friend forever. You just drop some like breading of chicken strips, she'll follow you home. But I was like, nah, let's go to Five Guys. Bro, I had French fries for the first time in a long time where I was like, dude, how am I going to keep it under 21? The biggest load that we've seen. Under 21 times a day right now. How am I going to keep it under 21 times a month?
Sucking a ding dong.
Eating this bag of fries? Are you kidding me? You want to talk about tryptophan? That was some Viagra right there. Those fries were gas. I had to play a little game called Just the Tip. Bro. And the Five Guys burger, I hadn't had a cheeseburger in 6-8 months. I mean, it has been a long time. Five Guys yesterday was everything that you've ever wanted. We made jokes about the employees' hair. We tipped them 20% so they wouldn't poison our food. Like, it was awesome. Awesome. Unfortunately, the X4M now smells like Five Guys. Yeah. Got up this morning, getting the beam, driving to the gym with the sunroof and the windows down. It smelled like peanut oil in that, man. But
it was worth it.
It was. It's fair. A member for 27 months. Congrats, Jake. Keep the shows coming.
We're doing it.
There you go. Monty, you always make us smile and laugh. I appreciate that, Domer. Always good to see you, man.
Hey, Domer.
Domer, are you going to be our starting quarterback this year?
Big
we don't have a
dome
quarterback.
guy.
We don't have a quarterback. I have no idea.
And glory holes.
Dude, maybe they can trade Dak to Notre Dame and we can, go on about our business.
Buddy gets paid a lot of money.
Bro, I don't know what we're going to do at quarterback. Like, it is seriously shocking to me that my guy, Marcus Freeman, doesn't have a quarterback. That's
I personally would like an apology.
So, and this is different than Shedeur Sanders being 4th on the Browns depth chart. Did you guys see that today? Big Daddy Magic, Monty is pissing me off today. So I just better go watch King of the Hill. What do you mean? Bro, you've been here 5 minutes. I haven't even ripped Victor the short guy yet.
Daddy Magic.
How are you already pissed off? Like, what could I possibly have done to offend you?
We show up.
It's fair. Maybe Jake can leave Oregon and be their QB.
Yeah, I get the arm loose,
be your mom's favorite player.
Yeah.
Imagine the people who missed the show today and will be confused tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. Wasikowski says Shedeur is 4th and has substantially outplayed Dylan Gabriel. And they released a depth chart today that has Shedeur 4th. The owner doesn't want him on the team. Yeah, the owner doesn't want him on the team. They don't want him on the team. How could anyone be upset with Monty? I have no idea. I don't know. We are just gonna hoe Lloyd Carr's grandson in the way. All we need is love, dude. Run the ball. At least he's better than Caleb. Again, a jealous Detroit Lions fan talking about Caleb Williams.
Who knew?
Which I think is funny. I'm sad Jake moved, but I like the split screen. Closer look at the beautiful faces. Vogue. Jake doesn't know that reference. Lee Jensen. I think the show looks good. I was a bit worried, but as always, you guys have killed it. Well, thank you.
We do what we do.
Facial recognition.
We do what we do. And we make it do.
And stuff.
It's fine. Gabriel. Sanders to the Bears. Make it happen. Hey, listen, I think what the Bears are going through offensively, I don't know how you would avoid the growing pains when they quite literally are learning Chinese right now. And I think that's what we've been talking about all offseason. How long is it going to take the 75 guys that are in camp on offense to figure this out? And I mean, you're trying to get 30 guys on offense to get on the same page, and they're all learning a new language. And I think it's incredibly difficult. And Caleb Williams having a meltdown yesterday, I'm thrilled with it. And listening to the Score in Chicago this morning and hearing them talk about how he is twice as competitive this year as he was last year, I'm thrilled with it. And I hope we keep seeing it. And I hope we keep seeing that level of competition ratchet up. I hope we continue to see. The biggest issue is you have so many moving parts, and Luther Burden running the wrong route that led to a ball hitting a DB right in the hands. Like, that's going to happen. You look at the way the offensive line, and we can make excuses. The offensive lineman saying that, hey, yeah, it was our bad on the Caleb Williams threw a terrible interception with like the entire defense chasing him, because the offensive line and the running backs and Caleb Williams were on different pages with the protection because they got the call wrong. Like, that's going to happen. Hopefully it happens in training camp and not in week 1. That's what you hope. So
we'll see.
Serious note, many would be so lucky to have good working partner that happens to be a father or son, or have a good relationship at all with father and son. Keep on keeping, Monty and Jake. Yeah, and we talked about that earlier, that Jake's Jake's living the dream, man. He moved to Eugene for a better work opportunity within his shacking up, and
yeah, that's it. That's what happened. Yeah.
So,
yep,
it happens.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Toot Pants. Order 2 new backdrops with lots of smaller font cities names and have the 2 mesh together to look like one backdrop. But we could never.
Shut the fuck up.
No. I'm digging Ben Johnson right now. He's talking the talk and walking the walk. And I think you have to be incredibly hard on the players, right? Like you just can't.
Well, there's only one bar. I mean, you either know the playbook or you don't.
The wide receiver room has got to improve. I mean, it is becoming problematic. And it's either all Caleb's fault or it's all the wide receivers. So you cannot have 4 or 5 routes in a weekend set that the wide receivers are running the opposite way of the quarterback. Something's wrong, right? Like, and stopping and Ben Johnson stopped practice and put them all in a circle and apparently had words, which is what you want to see, because somebody's doing something wrong. And by all accounts, it's not Caleb Williams. It's not necessarily the wide receivers. It is understanding the sequence and the language, which is the hardest part of an offense to learn. I mean, you were always going to, when you run a complex offense like Ben Johnson runs linguistically, it's going to be very difficult to put that in.
No doubt.
So,
once they learn it, it'll be
LMAO,
good.
are you asking Jake what gas stations are? I'm highly creeped out.
The gas stations are rough, bro.
What gas stations are in Eugene?
Shell, 76, Sinclair. No, don't have Maverick. Don't
QT?
have QT.
7-Eleven.
There are 7-Elevens.
Circle Jerk.
Nope, no circle jerks. Nope.
Just 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Are they at least the higher tier? Are they at least the higher tier of 7-Eleven?
Not the one that I've seen. No. Gas station game is weak here so far.
No Buc-ee's?
Nope. But I will say I haven't spent a lot of time in downtown Main Street, Eugene, yet.
Okay. Well, have you done any? Well, you really haven't had. You've been there like 24 hours. 24 hours ago, you were still moving in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just am.
Yeah.
Let's see who else. The split screen is very cool, except the gray shoes from Tom McCann above Jake's head. Hey, those are cool gray Jordans.
Yeah, those are cool gray 11s, bro. Why are you hating?
Yeah, you can't.
And by the way, the shoes can change too. Got a lot of shoes, man. Rotate them through.
Does this mean someone else will be pumping Jack's gas?
I'm not sure if that's is that a joke or what do you mean?
I think people would.
Macaque.
It is what it is. Oh yeah, I did hear about that. Did you guys hear about Joel Embiid?
Yes.
He was not on the court at all over the summer because his knee is just in shambles. And there is some belief that he will at least miss training camp. At least miss training camp. It is not good. No Buc-ee's in Oregon.
Nope.
Not good.
No Super Chicks, no Buc-ee's, no nothing.
Ooh, that's not good. Does this mean move imply there are pending nuptials incoming?
Oh, he's got to go here, don't you, bro? Oh, he's got to go here, bro, don't you?
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
We have had that conversation. It's fine. Did I get this one from Fair, who's been a member for 27 months? Congrats, yes. Jake. Keep the show coming. Okay, great.
Yeah, you did.
Good. My former Jayhawk, Mr. Embiid, is Mr. Glass. It is not been good. It is not at all been good. At all. Wait, what now? We have had this conversation. Joel Embiid has been unfortunate and bust, never lived up to the hype. Oh, I don't know about that. He was good for a minute and they didn't win when he was elite.
Yeah, he was the best player in the league for about a season and a half.
Yeah. Monty giving Jake the stare down. Oh no, we've had the talk, bro. We have had the talk. All right. Prize Picks, the official daily fantasy partner of the Monty Show. Can we just say that the Cubs season is over, right? Can we just admit that now, that without a move at the trade deadline, I mean, just being rectally inserted and such and like, the way that we have been, I mean, I think it's okay to admit that the Cubs are done. And Jed Hoyer, Jed?
Monty?
Watch out for that L train, Jed. I think we just have to admit that it's over. But that doesn't mean we stop taking Cubs. Discount dogs tonight, my friends.
Discount dogs.
Get the Prize Picks app right now. Download it. You deposit $5. They'll give you 50 more in plays instantly. There are discounted projections on the MLB board, including Tyler Glasnow, only 5 pitcher strikeouts. I love that. I also love Nick Lodolo, only needs 3.5 strikeouts. The problem is it's a Chicago Cubs, so we're going to take more. This is the problem with the Cubs. Yesterday, we won on a walk-off. I'm on the team.
Douche.
We won on a walk-off after our bullpen blew it again. Lodolo's 8-6 with a 3.09 on 123 strikeouts. So what my point here is, when I look at them, their Chicago Cubs, they do one thing well, and that's it. And we have been slumping a bit here lately. I would actually stay away from the Cubs tonight because Lodolo, here's his July numbers. 33 innings, 7 earned runs, 4 bombs, 4 walks, 38 Ks. 38 strikeouts. I think you have to go. I think there is no doubt you have to go more on Lodolo. But then the real question becomes, what are the Cubs going to do on the bump tonight? Right? Because you have Michael Soroka making his Chicago Cub debut. Do you know how incredibly important it is that Soroka pitch well for the Cubs? This is the only real arm that we picked up. This is a huge outing for him. He struck out 7 Boston Red Sox and then 2, 1, 1, and 2. I think you have to go less, don't you?
Yeah, well, the thing is, anytime Cincinnati's involved at Great American Ballpark, I just think it's a really tall task to go out there and get 7 AKs in that ballpark. It just, the ball flies. Balls that should be out.
The good news is it's at Wrigley Field in Chicago.
Okay.
So we don't have to
Prize
worry
Picks is wrong, I guess,
about Great American Ballpark. I think Soroka is a guy. I want to say less as well, but is there any reason to believe, in all seriousness, is there any reason to believe that the Cubs can, do the Reds strike out a lot? 17th in baseball, 932 strikeouts. Right? In a 100 and what is that? 932, and they've played 112 games. Right?
Ugh.
What is that? 8.5 a game they strike out. Should we believe Soroka can go more than that?
I'm not. I took less.
Well, why you do me like that, man?
I'm taking less, bro. Dude's got to prove it.
Okay. I think the others that I really like, it's his debut. Don't you go more for Soroka because it's his debut? Or is that just me being an irrational?
To me, that's being you being an irrational fan. What did you tell me when they picked this dude up? It's just an average arm.
He's a ground ball pitcher. He's not a strikeout pitcher.
Not a strikeout pitcher. Like,
all right, I'll go Tyler Glasnow of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go more than 5. And then I think we got to find a bat to give me, because you guys, it's pitcher strikeouts, and the only other column you play in baseball is hits, runs, and RBIs. And I think if you go a little late game here, I really like Conforto's number against St. Louis. The great Shohei, I loved more than 2.5. What do you think of Shohei tonight, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think he's always good for. I think offensively he's reliable. You know, the guy's one of the best hitters in the game. So
the only thing that worries me is it is Sonny Gray going for the Cardinals tonight. He is by far and away their best, but even he's got a 4.38 ERA.
Yeah, he's hittable because his fastball is really straight.
10-5.
Yeah,
with a 4.38. And you guys ready for this? In July, 27 innings, 43 hits, 24 earned, 5 bombs, 3 walks, 32 Ks. I'm going to take Shohei to come through on a demon.
A demon.
Oh, you can only play one discounted projection. So Lodolo or Glasnow?
I took Glasnow.
You took Glasnow.
Yeah.
So then we should, but then we got to go and get Meyer and we the Chicago Cubs. We can't not have a Chicago Cub in the hizzy tonight. Man, this is tough. I really want PCA to break out. But will Pete Crow Armstrong break out tonight? He has been in a wildly bad slump. PCA has been. I might feel more. Kyle Tucker has been in a terrible slump.
I took my third one that I took Soroka less, Glasnow more, and I took Max Fried more on a Goblin 5.5 Ks against the Rangers.
Well, that's not exactly a stretch, Jake.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You want to win, you know.
That's why PCA out of the lineup tonight. No kidding. And of course, Justin Turner's playing first base. I'm staying away from it. If we're going to go pitcher strikeouts, God dog it. This is impossible, you guys. Jake talks me out of more logical picks. Every time I go with you on one of these, I get hosed. I absolutely just get inserted.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
What about Paft only 4? No, Eric
Monty's
Lauer
going through it today trying to find one.
Well, the problem is Patrick Corbin is probably the right guy.
I lost with him last week, bro.
But I was going to say, okay, well, God damn it.
F around and find out.
I'm going to go less than 6 on Max Fried. And we're just going to do a $20 flex play to win 90. That's it, you guys. Flex play, 3 picks.
Do it.
20 to win 90. Do it. Lineup submitted. Do it.
Yeah, do it. And then tomorrow, 2 holes is going to get reamed for his bad picks.
But I picked against you. You picked more.
Yeah.
Right? Is that correct?
I believe so. Let me
on Max Fried.
Yeah. I
took less than 6.
I took more than 5.5.
Oh,
I need
on a Goblin.
Yes. Yeah, you're in trouble on that one, I think. You know.
Erroneous.
Nope. Cleveland governor, Ohio governor, tomato. Point is banning prop bets is unrealistic because the big companies are making too much money.
Okay.
I would agree with that. Cubs are done. I would agree with that. Well, your Tigers aren't exactly ripping the cover off the ball.
Hot ass.
What, like, and I don't know if this is a swoon or not, but I look at the Tigers right now. You guys are coasting because you got an 8-game lead. You're winning that division. But you look at the 2-3 to Philly was ugly. Like that was unattractive. And now you're 2-2 with the Twins in the 6th. And when I look at the way that you guys are, you guys got to find your bats. Torkelson and Perez are the only guys with hits tonight. And really, if we're being honest, Perez is the guy doing the damage because he's got the bomb. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Tigers can relight the fire, but I think that's true. Unfortunately, no, it's always the damn All-Star break, dude. That is exactly right.
True.
The King of Thailand, BDM is PMSing today. Put a pad on. Dude, I don't know what you could possibly be upset about.
What is he getting all pissy about?
I have no idea. I have no idea what you could even be upset about. I have no idea. Jake, Monty wants some grandkids. TikTok. No, I actually don't. No, I don't. I see, and we can get into this now. How old is too old to have your first child?
And glory holes.
Right? How old is too old to have your first child? If you're a man in 2025, I'm telling you, if that seed does not germinate in the garden by 40, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. And I am in this place where I'm like, dude, I
mean, I would go as far as to say I would go as far as to say.
Wait, you're not proud of me for being careful there?
No, I mean, yeah, you did a good job there for sure. You showed some restraint. I think 40 is too old even. I mean, I know people do it, but I would say 35, 36 is probably reasonable number.
Yeah, I think you have to be, and I think your life partner has to truly be a partner.
Mm-hmm.
And I know everybody's got different strokes for different folks, but I'm telling you right now, dude, you cannot, under any circumstance, you cannot choose the wrong path in life. Because if you do, wow, what is going on in Cleveland? The Browns are signing Tyler Huntley with Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel nursing hamstring injuries and Shedeur Sanders having a sore shoulder. Hello? So Shedeur has a sore shoulder. Pat, I want to solve the puzzle. Naggers. Shedeur Sanders has a sore shoulder. Okay. I'm down. But I'm telling you guys, I think the proper life partner is critically important when you get into having kids and building a life that is going to impact this planet for 100 years. You got to have the right partner, because I think far too often we leave kids twisting in the wind, and we don't do enough to support the kids we put on the planet. And I think that's really important right now. And if we can somehow, some way find a partner, as men especially, if we can find a partner who is in this life with us, it makes raising kids so much easier. And
100%.
I think your partner has to be healthy. Your partner has to be with their stuff together. And I don't care what your financial setup is, your partner has to pull their weight. And whether that is as an earner, whether that is as somebody that raises your kids. But I'm also going to sit here and tell you, you can't have 5, 6, 7 kids.
Not anymore.
You cannot do it. It is, in my opinion, it is far too difficult to protect what's going on. Look at how hot it is in this country right now, in temperature and in the geopolitical landscape. You look at how hot this country is. Do you guys understand we are having the hottest summer? How is it this hot? Oh, but it's not that hot because we just had a devastating storm come through. Look at the ferocity of the storms. Look at the temperatures that we are breaking. You guys, we're putting our planet in a situation where we're not going to be able to sustain ourselves for another 500 years. And I know that we don't care about that because, well, I'm only on this world for 70 years. Some of us do. And I'm telling you now, we have got to be better about not just having sex and producing babies. We need to have a family and plan that family. Spontaneity is cool and it sounds romantic. It's the absolute wrong way to go about having kids, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I just think there's a big responsibility with it. You know, I mean, the time you do it, when you do it, how you do it. I mean, yeah, the number of kids you have, like, I think it all matters. And I think that, you know, yeah, I'm not a proponent of having like 5 kids. I just think it's too much. I think the financial picture is too constricted at this point with where things are. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And then there's this insurance thing. You know, like this is crazy to me. And I think you guys know that I am not a fan of insurance companies. I don't believe that I don't believe that they ever want to help you. And I am telling you, you must pay your insurance premiums. Car insurance, health insurance, homeowners insurance. If you're a renter, you absolutely should have renter's insurance. You look at the recent times in this country, speaking of climate change, the hurricanes, where it wasn't wind that did the problem or rain, it was flooding, so we're not going to cover your home. The wildfires in Los Angeles. Well, you know what? You didn't have fire insurance, or you had fire insurance, but we canceled your policy without telling you. You get in a car accident, like, yeah, you were 0.1% too far to the left side of that lane. We're not going to be able to cover that accident. Or they're going to try and pay you substantially less. So you wind up going to the advocates to fight for you, right? Like, that's the problem I have with insurance. And then there is the scam of health insurance. So I've been talking about this a lot. I go and get my physical last week, right? And everything turned out great. My cholesterol numbers, my A1C, my triglycerides, perfect. Perfect. I need to lose weight. I am 6'3". I need to lose about 50 pounds. My doctor is talking to me about doing a GLP-1. Okay, great. I had thought about it 2 years ago. I've said no for how many years, right? Like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And my doctor tells me, well, you know, like if we do Zepbound, it's a different compound, right? And it's these two things together, and he sells me on it. All right, cool. Well, you know, you have everything that you need to get approved by your insurance, right? Like your BMI is in a range where, you know, you would be considered obese and we need to get your weight down. Doctor writes me a prescription, submits it to my insurance, declined. Huh. Okay, I call my insurance company. Why did you decline this? Oh, because there's not a component where you're meeting with somebody on a monthly basis to monitor your results. Okay, great. No problem. It needs to be these three things. It either needs to be your family doctor, the prescribing doctor, meet with him once a month, this group or that group. Okay, cool. My doctor writes me a script to meet with him once a month, resubmits it to the insurance company. Yeah, we're going to decline you because your indicators are not in the range where we believe you need the treatment. So wait. My BMI is high, but because all of my blood work, my triglycerides, my cholesterol, my A1C are perfect, you're not now going to approve me. But that's moving the goalposts because you told me, well, we would have approved you, but you need management. So I get the management that you told me to go and get, and now it's that my leading indicators of health are not in line with what would be required to approve it. So you were never going to approve it anyways. Why waste my time? Send me back to my doctor and say, yeah, we need to have you meet with him once a month.
And then have my BS.
Yeah, it's a waste of time and resources because you were never going to approve that anyway. You were never going to approve it. So it just is, it's ridiculous that, because I am not somebody who, I feel like Zepbound is a shortcut, all the GLP-1s, but my wife has kind of pushed me in a direction of, well, you know what, if that's the shortcut we need to take to be healthier and live longer, let's do it. Okay, great. You're exactly right. And it's like, and the lady on the phone, right? I call this lady. I take time out of my time to have lunch. So I did not eat lunch today. After I got rejected a second time, and I call, and the lady just goes into this big spiel about how, oh, you should be, you know, I can't remember the words. It wasn't thankful, but she's like, you should essentially, she said, you should be happy that your indicators are on the good. Your indicators are too good. We can't approve you based on your age and your weight. And I'm like, but you're telling me that my BMI is really unhealthy.
Yeah, well, the irony is like, okay, a healthy person internally who, has good blood work and all the things you have, but wants to lose some weight would get denied. But the person who's in just egregious health and has really bad condition or like really bad numbers and, and all that stuff doctors look at and is overweight would just be auto approved because the assumption is, well, losing the weight is just going to fix everything. That's what I hate.
And you know what else? You know what else this lady mentioned? Well, you also had a colonoscopy in 2024 that showed no, I can't remember the word she used, no disease, essentially.
So because you have a good record, we're saying no.
Because I'm too healthy. Incredible. And but you're telling me my BMI is terrible and I need to lose 50 pounds. My doctor straight up told me, I'd love to see you lose 50 pounds. The answer is no. My doctor says I need it. My doctor says he'll monitor me, and you still say no. It's amazing. It is so frustrating.
The funny thing is like, hey, we're not going to give you what you want, even though you're trying to make the right decision. Like you're trying to do the right thing. But we will reward the person who eats terribly, doesn't take care of themselves, has let themselves go, now needs this drug, that drug, and whatever to help. Like that's my problem with insurance, dude. When it comes to health insurance, now other insurance is different, but in this scenario, I just couldn't believe that the conversation was like, oh, well, you're too healthy on the inside. It's almost like, let me like one step further, even like, it's like, hey, we're going to just take your whole health record of good health internally and just use it against you and leverage the hell out of you. And so we don't have to have any cost. That's what annoys me.
I even said to the lady, so if I had high cholesterol or if my A1C was high or my triglycerides were high, you would approve this. And she said, we would need 3 of the 4 to approve it in your current health. That's like, so I need to be wildly more unhealthy. To get approved for. It's so frustrating. Can you imagine having a job as a customer service rep working for an insurance company? She was very nice and I wasn't mean to her. I just said to her, it's really disappointing that my doctor says I need to do this and lose 50 pounds and you guys are saying no. So if I want to do it, which I'm going to, it's now going to cost me $350 out of pocket every month. And I have a healthcare savings account that will cover it.
What would the insurance have covered? How much would it have been? Obviously, it'd have been cheaper, but would it have been like way cheaper? Or
it would have been $72 a month.
Okay, so that's a significant amount.
It's a significant amount.
70% less. Or
it would have been
less?
It would have been $72 a month through my insurance.
Yeah.
And she said that you would still have to go to the doctor monthly. If we had approved it, they would have stipulated you have to go to your doctor monthly. And which I would have been fine doing is right down the street.
That would have been fine, but it's like, dude, like what, like bro, you did everything they asked you to do and they still,
it's ridiculous.
Move the goalpost so they don't have to pay money.
Eric Wasikowski, they could have turned you down for age. Age is a big factor. No,
but you would think, and I know that's not what happened, but let's say that it was the deciding factor. You'd have thought, okay, well, hey, if it's a 30-year-old and a 50-year-old, we probably would approve more of the 50-year-olds to help them.
I asked her because we know somebody who is significantly younger than me who got approved. And I said, so is this a thing with my age? Because I know somebody significantly younger than me who got approved. And she said, age is not a factor when your indicators are she kept saying in the green, whatever. And I guess that means in the good. Like when all of your indicators are in the green, that is going to be the overlying factor.
She's so dumb, dude.
So again, is this not another indicator that BMI is complete bullshit? That my BMI says that I am wildly unhealthy. And she even read me the note that my doctor put in there. My doctor put in there, plays multiple rounds of golf a week, goes on walks with his wife, and travels frequently. She's like, well, it sounds like you're really active and you're exercising. And he put in there, because my doctor looked at my food diary. And so she said that you're already practicing sound nutrition. She said there's not a case to be made. The indicators don't paint the picture. She said the indicators don't paint the picture that you need Zepbound or a GLP-1. I was like, okay, because what else might like so.
It's so frustrating. Like it's not even my claim, and it pisses me off. Like there's no reason for that.
Yeah, it is. It's just ridiculous to me. Insurance is such a scam. Yeah, BMI is total BS. Mine's perfect, and I have diabetes. I think BMI means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely nothing. But I did over the weekend, because I kind of knew, my wife and I were sitting around talking about this, and it hadn't been approved. Right? Like this physical was Wednesday. They submitted it Wednesday night.
You kind of knew.
Yeah, I had a good idea. So we went to the Eli Lilly website. They send you to row.co, who got it done. And it'll be here tomorrow. So, but it's $350 a month. It sucks. It absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
The stadium guy, James, that's why I would never refer to Monty as fat. Truth is, he's probably healthier than I am, and I only weigh 175. I'm telling you, your weight means nothing. It's part of your total health picture.
Yeah, it's your composition.
And I can tell you right now, the only thing that makes me healthier and the only reason my blood work is good is two reasons. I have really good genetics. My wife does cardio like you can't even believe, and my numbers are better than her numbers. But it is genetics, number one. And number two, it's what I eat. This is why I tell you guys, everybody always preaches at me, oh, Monty, having oats every day for breakfast is terrible for you. It pumps your blood sugar up. Nothing could be further from the truth. Now, if you get Quaker apple cinnamon oats, or if you make oats and you pour a bunch of sugar into it, yeah, it's going to pump your blood sugar up. I put in half a cup of oats that are extra thick steel cut oats. I put in collagen peptides from Bucked Up. I put in, let's see, usually blueberries, raspberries. Like I put a really healthy concoction in there, and including creatine, including chia seeds, and a little bit more than a teaspoon of peanut butter, whole peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my oats are. That's not spiking my blood sugar. So, and again, I eat stuff like that. Like I ate oats at 11 o'clock today because I was busy this morning. Honestly, I'm sitting here not hungry. I will probably have something for dinner, but you have to help yourself. You have to eat well. Things like having that burger and fries last night, I cannot tell you how long it's been since I did that.
It's been a long time.
Like almost never. If we eat out, my wife and I joke about, we eat out, we get exotic, we go to Chipotle, right? And now I'm not going to be eating a lot because on Zepbound, you can't eat in volume. And so it's the people who drink soda. I don't drink soda. I haven't had a soda in 13, 14. Since 2013, I haven't had a soda.
I think that you will, and I'll be really interested to see what your experience is like from your point of view with it. But I think that there's a really good chance that you're going to have some shock around how much smaller your portions will get.
Yeah.
Only because your appetite and your desire to eat just goes away. Like that's part of what it does for you. And I think that's the crazy thing is like, you'll get, like, I guarantee you this will happen to you. You'll get a portion. You'll be like, all right, cool. Like I'm taking this, like, I know I'm going to be eating less. I'm going to get full faster. Like my brain's handling this differently, but you'll get like a portion that you think is like small, and you'll be like going at it and you'll be like, dude, like this is like really hard to finish. It's challenging. And that's
in the way that Zepbound works. I've done a ton of research on this. I have watched just about every video I can watch, and the way that Zepbound works is you have to drink a ton of water, which I already do. But you also need to make sure that you get protein and fiber in every meal. And so I need to continue to kind of eat what I'm eating, I'm going to cut my portions in half. And I'd really like to be under 2,300 calories a day. Hopefully that's what it does.
Not to cut you off, but I actually think that it's going to be, I think that'll be challenging for you. I think because when you eat well, I know you tell me there are a lot of days where you're like at 21, 21 and a half. Like there are a lot of days where you're just a little bit short, but I think, dude, I think you will see it will cut you down. It will. And I'll be curious because you started lifting again. You started lifting again. One of the things that at least I saw or have seen is that the typical person who's not lifting just loses like all those. This is different than like what all the celebrities took and everything, but this stigma of like, hey, you're doing this and it like just takes everything off of you. It's because people don't lift and they don't stay active and they don't do the things they need to do.
Well, when I did Atkins back in the early 2000s, I hated the way I felt. And it was because I did not do enough to keep my muscle. And I wasn't taking creatine. I wasn't taking protein supplements. And I was getting a lot of protein. But I think now what I'm intrigued to see is, does all the fiber we eat, do all the blueberries, what did I have today? Blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. Chia seeds. Does all that stuff help me lose weight and stay healthy? Does my collagen help me keep my muscle on? Because that plays a big role in it. Obviously, creatine keeps water in your muscles, making you more active and more able to be active. Those are the things I'll be interested in, but it sucks. It's $350 a month. I am almost a bitter pill about it.
Yeah, I would be bitter too.
It really
That's
pisses
ridiculous.
me off.
Yeah.
It really pisses me off.
Yeah.
Oak State James, blueberries are so good for you. They are good for your brain health, not just your weight. Yeah, I think we as a society, I sent Jake a story the other day that he didn't acknowledge about the instances of colon cancer in 30-year-olds. Absolute. Did you even read that story, Jake?
Yeah, it's way up, and it's way up because we process foods. We don't eat the fiber. We don't eat things like blueberries, and it's. I don't know why my generation in particular, struggles with it at the rate we do. I mean, obviously, of course, the science says because we eat too much of it, obviously, but mentally, I think it's just what we came up on, I guess, and that's just kind of what we fell to.
Yeah, I think the easy button is the problem for 30-year-olds. If you're 30 or older, I would encourage you, when you poop, stand up and look in the bowl, dude. Like you've got to look at things like, hey, is there any blood in my stool? Like you've got to go and get colonoscopies. Don't ignore symptoms. You're 30 years old. You should never be constipated. You should never have trouble moving your bowels. Like it's terrifying to me. And I take it really seriously. My wife and I take it really seriously. We spend a lot of money on our food to eat well. And it's crazy to me that we as a society don't tend to value every day that we have. And we have to. And it sucks. You know what, you guys? I'm not embarrassed about using Zepbound or a GLP-1, or I'm not embarrassed about my weight. Man, I'm on video playing golf, and I'm on video probably more than 99.9% of human beings. I know I need to lose weight. This shirt, the funny thing is, this shirt is so big on me. Like my clothes are already big on me. I'm already doing a lot of those good things. I would love to, what is today? August 4th. In the next 4 months, I would love to lose 30 pounds. And I would love to, by my birthday, have lost 50 pounds. I'd love to go to Paris this year at New Year's and be 30 pounds lighter. I would love to do that. Right. And that's my goal. I want to do it so I can be more active and more healthy. But am I embarrassed talking about this? Absolutely not. I hope that I am here inspiring somebody to go get a colonoscopy when you're 32 years old and you don't feel good, or you're bloated and you're having trouble going to the bathroom. Go get a colonoscopy. Go talk to your doctor about it. Because if you wait, I'm telling you, you are just giving cancer more of an upper hand if you wait. Rock and rant. There's a reason why so many people made a folk hero out of a murder of a healthcare CEO, which I find disgusting. But to sit here and tell you I don't understand the frustration that family went through, oh, I do. But I'll tell you as well, I watched my father-in-law die of massive heart disease, and the trauma it caused, and how many days in his life he gave away. I've watched people die of heart attacks. I've seen people die unhealthy We have somebody in our circle. This cat just died of a massive heart attack or a drug overdose, living homeless, right? Like having a massive addiction problem, went from a multimillionaire to being homeless, gave half his life away. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. I really don't. Johnny Gonzalez, the rate of colon cancer is the access to fast food and millennials not wanting to take the time to cook at home. I think not having the money to eat well is a big part of the conversation.
Yeah.
Eating well is really expensive. Do you know how much money oats cost nowadays? Have you guys looked at the cost of groceries? Have you looked at the cost of things like eggs and berries? And I'm not trying to be political. Food cost has not gone down. It's gone up. And the access to finances and how far the dollar's going right now, it's not going far enough to make people eat healthily. It is not. And how many people are taking how many people can afford to take the vitamins that I take? I take CoQ10 twice a day, every day. I take plant sterol supplements twice a day, every day. B12. I take a vitamin D. I take magnesium. Like, I take a vitamin regimen, and that's on top of what I eat. That's on top of my creatine and my collagen.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason my numbers are good. There's a reason I don't have heart disease right now. There's a reason my doctor's telling me he doesn't know what I'd have to do to have a heart attack. Like, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Not many people can eat the way that I eat or supplement the way I supplement. Right? It sucks. I would encourage you. There's a reason that we have a Bucked Up promo code. 20% buckedup.com. You use promo code Monty. If you're a man, use collagen. Everybody who's hearing this show every single day, you should be taking creatine every day, not because you want to get big and strong, because you want your mind to focus and you want your mind to feel better, right? Every day, you should be taking creatine and collagen. You should be taking, if you're not eating things like chia seeds every day. Do you know how expensive a bag of chia seeds at Costco are?
A lot.
Yeah. Do you know how expensive berries at Costco are? My wife pays for a farm box. Do you know how much better raspberries are from the farm box than they are from the ones at Costco? Significantly better. The peaches sitting up on my counter right now, do you know how much better they are in a farm box than they are in the grocery store? But that farm box is hundreds and hundreds of dollars because we're paying somebody to pick that fruit and deliver it, right? And then you eat fresh fruit. I understand why people can't do that. But I'm ranting and I don't mean to be. Please do the bare minimum. Please do the bare minimum, man. Like, you have got to take things like creatine and collagen. You have got to
drink your water.
Get rid of soda. Cut soda out of your life, man. I'm telling you. Why doesn't Bucked Up ever have B12 available, Monty? Really grinds my gears because B12 is really hard to get. B12 is really hard to get, and you can look at like B12 supplements or B12 like sources. You have to eat well to get B12. I'm telling you, it is, and I can't remember. Pork, chicken, and lamb, as well as beef, right? But if you eat like seafood, you get a lot of B12. But you're really you have to eat the most expensive things to get B12, which right now is meat. Meat is so stupidly expensive in this country right now. That's where you get a lot of B12. Unless you go, like, I take a B12 supplement. Where do I get it? I get it at Costco. And I take a B12 vitamin every single morning, right? Like, it's what you got to do. Yes, drink water. Stop drinking soda, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you gotta drink water. It's really weird how narrow everything is. I have to like pull everything in front of me.
Yeah.
You have to drink water. And I'm telling you, find a girl who will support your fitness. Find a girl who, my wife got up with me at 4:30 today. And trust me when I tell you, my wife is not good at getting out of bed. And the alarm went off. She got out of bed. I got out of bed, and we did it together, and it made it much easier. And we're there working out together. We eat well together. We take our supplements together. We're mixing up our glutamine and creatine that we drink during our workouts. Like, we do it together.
Yeah.
So trust me when I say that. All right, there endeth the lesson. I don't mean to rant. I will let you guys know how the GLP-1 stuff goes. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. So we'll have to see. My wife's trying to figure it out, but maybe my first dose will be Sunday, because I don't want to take it in the middle of the week. Like if I take it on a Sunday, a Tuesday or a Wednesday, they say the first time you take it, you don't feel great the first 2 days. So I'm going to kind of have to plan. You got to take it. It's a shot every week, and you want to take it at the same day and time. So we're going to have to plan that out. We'll talk through it. Jake, do you have a fade button?
I do not have a fade button, no.
Till tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.